2, 3, 4.
Hey, what's with the blinds and DMPs for so long, man? I can't even think. Hey, what's with food on airplanes? I don't get it. Whatever happened to Bigfoot? I think we should make the whole plane out of black box. Whatever happened to Bigfoot? I think we should make the whole plane out of black box.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 158 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Eric.
Will.
Corey.
Today's episode is, well, we don't have a topic specifically for today's episode. It's kind of going to be a roundtable host choice type of thing. We'll be talking probably some gaming controversies and some of the more recent news stories that have been popping up, right, fellers?
That's it, Dan.
Yeah. We decided, if we...
Not to force it, basically.
Yeah, not to force a topic if we don't really have anything. Summer's hard too because we all have a lot going on. So, yeah. So it's a little harder to do our research and
Plus, there's not dick to talk about as far as games.
yeah. Well, that's just it. Once we hit the fall, we'll have our game.
We're going to be
episodes
overrun
again.
with things to talk about.
Yeah. So this is it's going to be like a roundtable main segment, I guess you could say. So that's going to be our main segment. Teasers. I'm going to go ahead and tease The Last of Us Remastered. I'm probably about halfway through at this point. So I'll be talking about that during what we played.
You had a beat.
No, I wish I could have, but I've only had it for 3 nights, I think. And I didn't even play it last night. So anyone else have anything they want to tease?
I played a bunch of games. None of them are really new, but they're new to me. I tried MLB The Show, NBA 2K14, Injustice: Gods Among Us. I tried PlayStation Now. I played Catherine on there, so We'll be talking about that.
So you got a plethora.
Yeah, I played a little bit of a lot of things.
Nice.
So
I always like those weeks. A little bit of a lot of things.
We'll talk about it later. I do and I don't.
Sounds good. Corey, you have anything you want to tease?
I don't. I didn't play anything new, unfortunately. I have a more Nibblebits than usual, which I guess is a good thing.
Yeah.
Corey. We did play
What?
some Mario Kart.
Yeah. I played some Mario Kart and more Divinity. That's about it for this week. And Eric, I tried to mix myself a cocktail before this episode began, but turns out we drank all the whiskey I owned.
Boy, did we ever.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was a good time. We'll talk about that.
Okay. Nibblebits. Nibblebits, of course, are if you're new to the podcast, they're like little news bits. A lot of times they don't warrant longer discussion, but if they do, we'll
nibble
we'll
on them
discuss
for a bit.
Yeah. That was
Just a nibble.
Yeah, it was a mistake on Nimblebits. That's what it was, right? Well,
Yeah,
Nibblebits.
I mispronounced it.
So we decided to call our news segment Nibblebits.
It's
So
easier to say.
it is.
And
definitely.
anytime we can cut a corner.
we do so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll get us started. My first one, NVIDIA has been adding to their Shield line of products with the release of the Shield tablet. It's an 8-inch tablet with a 1920 by 1200 resolution screen and runs on stock Android 4.4 KitKat. It's got a mini HDMI out, Wi-Fi Direct, stupidly powerful NVIDIA K1 processor for the price tag of $300, which is not too bad.
I'm sorry, was that the tablet?
Yeah.
God, I want to get that.
Shield tablet. It's getting good reviews so far, too.
I looked at it on Amazon.
Yeah.
I have some money coming in, and I think that I might get myself one.
tablet?
No.
I mean, I love my tablet, but it's my cell phone, too, so I do get a lot of use out
That's
of
the
it.
thing. I'm afraid I'm going to get one and not touch it.
And not use it, yeah. And I can understand that.
it
There's also
anyway.
an optional controller that links to the tablet for an extra $60. As I said, reviews seem to like it, and there's also some like really good full games for it, like Trine 2 and Portal 2. I saw something about Borderlands 2 running on it too. So that's great.
Tempting.
Yeah,
I'd like to use it for like Hearthstone
yeah.
or a game like that. We talked about that, but
Unfortunately, not on Android yet though. It's only on an iPad.
Magic
it's coming
is though, right?
Magic is, yes. Yeah. Magic is. There's also, I don't know, I think it's only for like Tegra 4 processors, but Mountain Blade Warband is also on Android tablets. Okay. But that's only, I think it's specifically for Tegra 4 processors, which is not what the NVIDIA Shield tablet has. So, Journey is finally making its way to the PS4,
Hey!
along with, I was excited about that, along with Until Dawn, Nom Nom Galaxy, and Unfinished Swan. Apparently, the announcement was supposed to be made at Gamescom, but was leaked a little bit early on the con's front page. So, very exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited you guys are going to get to play Journey. That and The Last of Us, I think, were probably the two games that I would have said you really missed out on the PS3, and you're going to get to play both of them.
Word.
You have played one of them,
Did
so
you?
that's great.
Did you play Unfinished Swan?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, it was decent. I'd like to go back to it at some point. It might be one of those games that I tried at the wrong time.
Right.
It's like it's got a really cool story. I don't remember what the story was exactly, but I know I liked it. You're like a child, and I think you're following a swan, and you're separated from your mother. That could be completely way off, but I think that's what it is. And you use the triggers to throw like black paintballs against the backdrop, and it forms the world around you as the paint hits.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was neat. I didn't get into it.
Right.
But I think I might at some point. But Journey.
Can't wait for that one. That's exciting.
I'm probably going to play it again.
Yeah. I missed out again, so Eric and Corey are the only ones that played it, right?
Yeah.
Will didn't get a chance to play it.
Nope.
So you'll be able to get it too.
Yeah.
That's a one-sitting, just
Hammer through it.
fucking great game.
I'm excited. The Destiny beta saw over 4.6 million players log in over the course of the week-long testing, making it the biggest beta of the new generation. I didn't think that was all that impressive. But the largest ever for a console-specific new IP. So that's good. A lot of people played it. It was good that they opened it up towards the end, too, and let anyone play. That was a good thing. And then my only other nibble bit is that Watch Dogs was apparently updated on PC to fix the graphical issues, and I can confirm that it still doesn't work very well for me. So
Meant to bring that again for you tonight, Dan.
I'm not going to play it.
Not going to play it?
No, I'm too pissed off.
Fair enough.
I will play the PC version of it a year from now when it's finally working. Apparently, they specifically worked on the high settings for the game, which I set all my settings to high. I should be able to run on high. The recommended specs are mostly on ultra and some on high for me, but still not working. I'm kind of upset about it, but yeah, I can confirm it still doesn't run very well for me.
Shitty.
So that's it for my nibble bits. Will, what do you got?
My first one is Bravely Default has sold over 1 million copies. 600,000 copies to the Western markets and 400,000 from Japan, so that's a pretty good number, especially from the Western markets, considering this is a JRPG, and it had a very flat end game.
Yeah, midsection.
Yeah, midsection.
Mid to late.
But yeah, it's good for that game. We all bought it, right? And liked it.
I love
to varying degrees.
It was okay. Way too grindy for me.
Oh, yeah.
How many hours did it take you?
60.
Yeah, it took me
Yes.
77. That's not Eric's.
That is
Eric's
not my
bag.
cup of tea. Ever.
That's not the wheelhouse for Eric for
I could
hours.
see why you would like it. But
Yeah,
not for me.
The midsection was brutal.
Yeah. But they're working on a second one, right?
Yeah,
Coming out next
I think it's
year, this year?
Yeah, it's supposed to come out like later this year in Japan, and then next year I think for North America.
Nice. All right.
In Europe probably.
And my other one is Deep Silver acquires Homefront from Crytek. Deep Silver and Crytek were going to co-publish this game, but with all the issues going on at Crytek, eventually Deep Silver acquired the rights to the game. So what they're doing is they have a new developer, Deep Silver Dam Buster Studios, which is Nottingham-based, and they're going to work on the game, and Deep Silver is going to be the one that publishes it. So I don't know much about the new Homefront. Apparently there was some details about it, and some people said it looked pretty interesting. The first Homefront wasn't that great, so interested to see with this one how it turns out.
It's
But
a neat concept for a game.
yeah,
Anyway.
yeah, very different. But yeah, that's all I had.
Okay, Eric, what do you got?
got a few here, Daniel. My first one, this is interesting. I think there was a comment in the feedback about this, but I was reading today that GameStop in Philadelphia has been fingerprinting people trading in certain products at their stores. And they're using the reason that it's helping cops crack down on crime for people that are kind of using GameStop as a pawn shop.
I don't like that
What
explanation.
an intrusion.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? If I ever went to GameStop and they're like, all right, to trade your copy of whatever, The Last of Us, and you have to give me a thumbprint, I'd say, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I'll trade in on Amazon.
Yeah. Or I'll sell it to a friend. I'll sell it on Craigslist.
Yeah. You're not taking my fingerprint.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And they forward them right on to the FBI, probably.
Oh, God, of course they do.
Or CIA or NSA or whatever. That's terrible.
That's a rabbit hole we don't want to get into.
I think I'm just going to end my relationship with GameStop.
I might, too, after Destiny comes out, because I already have it pre-ordered.
I'm going to cancel my pre-order there because I had to re-pre-order at Amazon.
Right.
So I could get the Destiny or the beta code.
I actually have it pre-ordered at 2 GameStops.
Oh.
Because when I traded in my 360 to get my Xbox One, there was some deal that if I pre-ordered Destiny, it would boost everything like 50% or something like that. So
Yeah.
I'm going to cancel it at the shitty GameStop and get it at the better one.
The new one.
Yeah. So.
Gotcha.
My next nibble bit is about the free games for PS Plus coming in August. PS4 is going to get Road Not Taken, which isn't even out yet. That comes out on the 5th. I think it's like a puzzle or platformer kind of game. Fez, which I think we all enjoyed.
Yeah.
PS3 is getting Crysis 3. Did you get that, Will? Was I right about that?
Yeah, I got it on the 360 and I have it on computer.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I did. I like it a lot, actually.
And Proteus, which is kind of a mind-bending stoner game, if you're into those. I enjoyed it. Corey, you enjoyed it?
Sure.
Yep. Vita is getting Matrico. I think that's how that's pronounced. That's out August 5th. Dragon's Crown is the one I'm kind of excited for, because that's
Yeah.
one I almost bought a few times for Vita.
I was jealous that you were getting that one.
So, got some good stuff in there. Fez, if you haven't played, that's definitely worth a look for PS4. Proteus, Crysis 3, Dragon's Crown, those are all decent games.
Yeah.
So. Another decent lineup for that. And my last one of the games that I was really excited for PS4, November 18th, Little Big Planet 3 is coming out for PS3 and PS4.
18th.
Hot chip.
Yeah.
I think that's the same day Far Cry and Dragon Age are coming out.
November 18th?
I think so.
Oh, you could name any
Sugar.
date in November, and there's 2 or 3 good ones coming out.
No, but
I
that's
thought that was October.
no.
Nope.
Is it November?
I'm pretty
It
sure it's
is.
the 18th too.
Fuck.
I meant to say
I know
October.
you're just
right,
gonna get
Eric.
Far Cry though, but still, that's 2 $60 video games that you have
I
to buy
really
that day.
want to get Little Big Planet. I'm hoping I can talk my girlfriend into playing it with me.
I've
Because it
heard-
looked like a lot of fun
Yeah.
to play co-op.
Yeah, definitely. I already pre-ordered it
Yeah.
because if you pre-order Amazon, you get a little Sackboy plushie.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
See,
am
I-
oddly tempted to do that.
I don't like the pre-order bonuses, but when you actually get something,
physical thing?
yeah, like I don't
Yeah.
care that much usually about like outfits and
But
stuff.
Dan, a Sackboy skin you didn't want?
No,
Wait, is
Nobody does.
an actual Sackboy is
Yeah.
cool though.
how do you get the plush thing?
It's on Amazon. If you pre-order it soon on Amazon, they're giving you like a 6-inch Sackboy plushie.
Oh yeah, okay, I did that already. I think.
Yeah, I just pre-ordered it. And again, the good thing about Amazon is it doesn't charge you until it ships. So, you could have 100 things.
cancel.
Yeah, you could have 100 things on pre-order, and if you decide to cancel it, you just cancel it.
Yep.
So,
That's it for me, Dan.
all right, Corey, what do you got?
I got quite a few there, broskies. First and foremost, happy 3rd birthday to our Twitter account.
Yeah,
We got the email this week. I forget what day it was. Maybe Monday. I think it was the 25th. Yeah, that was Monday. Good for us. 3 years. 3 years ago, we made that Twitter account.
That's crazy.
that is
It's
crazy.
good because we had the foresight to make the Twitter account before we started the actual Thumbstick athletes.
Yeah.
Because there's situations where people buy up that stuff, and then you got to pay for it.
Yeah, or they'll find something new and they'll squat on a Twitter
Exactly.
account and
Exactly.
you have to buy it.
PlayStation Now's open beta launched on Thursday the 31st. I assume somebody has a roundtable about that. Yay or nay?
Yeah, me.
Okay, so we'll leave that at that. Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor will now launch 1 week earlier. The console versions will now come out on September 30th, and the PC version on October 2nd, which I think we're all kind of interested in. Yeah.
Really interested in.
Yeah, and I think it's a really good thing that it's coming out in September rather than
Dan's
Chaos of
struggling with his
October.
dog, but I know that he would tell us that it's his most look forward to game of the year so far.
Oh,
And
God,
it's-
yeah.
It's funny because Dan brought up the story for the game, and that got me to watch the trailer. And Dan, I'm right there with you. That's really exciting. The story, the backstory for the game.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be a great game, too. And it was really highly regarded from E3.
Yep.
So,
That was a good part of the trailer. They did all the E3 awards, and it was
Yeah.
just like this huge. Like they posted one and then another, and then all of a sudden it was just like slamming all over the screen. All these awards. It was
Yeah.
really cool.
Every podcast I listened to had great things to say about it.
I'm really excited for that. Especially now I'm listening to the Lord of the Rings audiobooks, and
Oh, nice.
it just I'm getting sucked into the lore like really bad. Like
Yeah.
I haven't been in probably 15 years, you know.
In a nutshell,
Lord of the
Dan,
Rings.
can you sum up the story of the game?
Yeah, it's
Not to put you on the spot, but
no, that's fine. I was a little confused at first because you know the ring rays obviously in the books and movies are bad guys. I was like, well, why is this wraith helping a ranger? But it's not one of the wraiths that the humans that was betrayed by Sauron. It was the elf mentor of Sauron that taught him how to create the rings, and Sauron betrayed. His name's Celebrimbor. I think it's Celebrimbor, right?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think so.
Yeah, Celebrimbor. Sauron betrayed Celebrimbor, and so Celebrimbor wants to get his revenge, and that's why he came back from the dead essentially as a wraith to help tally and even the score against Sauron.
that's cool. And you said
Yeah.
that's part of not the main books, but what's it called? The similar.
It's part of the expanded universe, I guess. The Celebrimbor is in the Silmarillion. As an actual character, he actually was Sauron's mentor for his crafting.
That's the job I want. I want the job where you go into the expanded fiction and pull a story out of it for a video game.
Yeah. Well, I've been, as I said, I've been reading up on the Tolkien Middle Earth stuff, and it's all fascinating, and it's all done
Yeah.
by him. In Star Wars, there's 100 different people that contributed to video games and movies and stuff, but all the Tolkien stuff is from Tolkien. There's
Yeah.
video games and but yeah, it's mostly just Tolkien stuff and a little bit of Christopher Tolkien too.
That little nerd.
Yeah, it's fascinating though.
It really is. I'm right there with you. Speaking of interesting lore, Telltale Games confirmed a third season of The Walking Dead game. Details are currently vague. I don't know about you guys. I don't know. I think just Will played the first one, right? All the way?
Yeah.
I played
Yeah,
through the
so
whole
did Dan.
first one.
Oh, right. Are you guys playing the second one at all?
I'm waiting until it's all out.
Is it done?
first.
They have one more episode to go till they're done.
Okay.
But Dan, I think you're right on to wait to play it because I've been playing them as they come out, and it's just not the same as when I played the first season all the way through. So yeah, I honestly I don't feel like the reaction to the second season was quite what it was for the first season. So who knows how many more seasons they have in them? But for now, there's a third season coming out. So
Excellent.
good for Telltale's The Walking Dead. I'm honestly more excited about the Borderlands.
Tales from the
Telltale,
Borderlands.
Yeah, Tales from the Borderlands than I am about anything else Walking Dead. I sort of tuned out of the Walking Dead TV series this season as well, so it's kind of losing me a little bit.
Yeah.
EA announced a new Netflix-style subscription plan exclusive to the Xbox One. I'll try to get through these details
No,
here.
don't,
It's kind
Corey.
of-
We're
Say
saving that
again?
one.
Yeah. That's going to be kind of coupled with the PlayStation Now thing.
Do you want me to get into the details of it or no?
No.
Just skip it all?
Yeah, we'll get into it.
Okay.
During the main segment.
All right. Well, then that's it for that. Nintendo posted its third loss in 4 quarters on Wednesday. It lost $97 million between March and June. But apparently they shipped 510,000 units, 510,000 Wii U's that quarter, which to me sounds like a lot of consoles. And as last year at that time, they had only shipped 160,000, so good for them. And they shipped almost 3 million copies of Mario Kart 8 by the end of June. When did that come out?
May 30th? 31st?
End of May, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 3 million copies in a month. That's pretty good.
And not to mention there's only like what 6.5 million Wii U's in the wild. So
Yeah,
that's
so
like 50% adoption rate for Mario
People
Kart 8.
bought it. As they should. Honestly, more should buy it. But yeah, for them to still have a $97 million loss after all that seems a little crazy to me, but it is what it is. And the article I read based on this was Business Insider, and they gave another recommendation to Nintendo to put their back catalog, their Nintendo, Super Nintendo games on mobile devices, which we keep hearing over and over again. I think we've kind of discussed it a little bit, but just briefly, I'm just curious to hear what you guys' thoughts are on that.
I hate that idea. Don't do it. I want to see them put that on the 3DS and the Wii U eShop, not on mobile.
I'm sorry, what was this now?
Business Insider had recommended Nintendo put their old games on mobile platform.
Oh, God. Yeah, I think
I'm sick of hearing that.
these mobile games, it pisses me off, too.
Are they coming out on mobile and 3DS?
No, they just
just
they
just
want
mobile?
them out on mobile. Whereas I think they should put them in the eShop. Put them in the eShop. Put them in the 3DS eShop, and
Why not do both?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Dan. I feel like they're really screwing the pooch because that is not nearly as fleshed out as it could be.
No, they could.
It's really not that hard to get those games out there on the
No,
the
they could
Wii
make
U
a lot of
eShop.
money.
Yeah, I'm with you. And they could do cross-plat. They can do the what do they call it? Dual platform.
Yeah.
3DS, Wii U.
Yeah.
There's so many games people would buy, and do them at a friendly price point. Don't put like Mario World in the eShop for like $20. Put it out there for like $5. And
Well, Mario World is on there, but I know you're just using it as an
right,
example. But
yeah, like put it at a friendly, iOS store style price point, and people will buy that in droves.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's it for my nibble bits.
Okay. How was your week, Corey?
My week was good. I had a lot of fun with Eric this weekend.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I went down for the Arsenal game against the Red Bulls, and I think it turned out my favorite part of the weekend was after the Red Bulls game. Went back to Corey and Jared's Brooklyn studios, and we ended up staying up till about 4 a.m. Let's see, we started out playing Risk Legacy, which Corey didn't win finally.
I got destroyed for the first time.
Corey was the first player to ever get eliminated.
Which I found out we screwed up.
Did we? What happened?
I totally got eliminated, but if there were available territories, which there were, I could have replaced my guys in them.
Yeah, we knew that. We lied to you.
Yeah, all of Europe was still open, right?
Yeah, nobody had gone into Europe yet.
Yeah, it was wide open. I could have respawned there.
Yeah. So that was a good time. And then we, I think, did we play some Mario Kart after that?
Yeah, we sure did.
We snuck in some Mario Kart and got into some whiskey. And
Drunk driving?
Yeah, and then we started playing Pitch, which is a favorite card game of ours. Yeah, we just were drinking whiskey and listening to a playlist that Corey found on Spotify. It was World War II music.
Oh, nice.
And it was so good. And it fit playing Pitch so well.
Yeah.
Like,
It felt like you were in the olden days, in the 40s.
Man, it was so great. I just was missing a cigar. It was the only thing I was missing.
Yeah.
It was just one of those nights where it's like, man, this is what life's about right
Yeah,
here.
that's
You know what I mean?
Everything gelled,
Yeah, everything came together. So yeah, it's me, Corey, Jared, and their roommate Sterl. And Corey kind of introduced us to this. Did you want to talk about your VitaSig at all, Corey?
Oh yeah, so there's this product out there called the VitaSig, which is very new, and it is a e-cigarette, which kind of freaks people out when you say that, but there is no tobacco or nicotine or anything bad in it.
It doesn't
It's
freak me out, just for the record.
Yeah, it's literally just water vapor and vitamins, but it is so much fun to smoke.
And I'll second that.
I want to. Actually want to get one of these because, again, I'm reading Lord of the Rings, and one of their favorite pastimes is, smoking a pipe.
Sure.
Like, how sweet would it be to just kick your feet up, in the backyard and not smoke a pipe, but do something like
Smoke
that?
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. Like 75% of the fun of smoking is blowing
smoke.
smoke out your
Smoking
mouth.
something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this thing's cool. It's made out of metal, and it's got 500 puffs in it. And when you suck in the end of it, the end tip glows whatever neon color your pipe is that you're smoking out of. So Corey had a green one, so it would glow like neon green. And I think there's purple and yellow. And they all have different flavors. Like Corey's is mint. So it kind of refreshes your breath, too.
Oh,
so it'd be
man.
nice
Mint
to
and
carry in your
eucalyptus.
pocket.
I'm buying one.
They're only $3.
Where?
You buy them right on their website.
I'm buying one.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's vitasig.org.
Can you reuse them?
No.
No, 500 hits and they're done. But for $3, I mean that's better than a cigar. Or
Yeah.
anything else you'll get.
That's true.
Yeah, and it was great. Like, we had a great time with it, and it was sad when it was gone.
Yeah. You just have to stock up now.
Yeah, no, I'm going to. I honestly told Corey I kind of want to invest in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
In the
there's
company?
things on the website about doing that. But so that was fun. Corey, we're in your week, aren't we?
We are in my week.
Yeah, get
but
back
that
to
was
yourself then.
that was the biggest part of my week, to be honest.
Yeah.
I cut way too loose than I ever expected I would. I kind of just wanted to lay low key that weekend and play video games and not be hungover or anything. But Eric came and even Friday night, like we went out to Archie's Pizza and got ourselves some pizza and stuff. But,
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. It was a good time. The only other thing I wanted to talk about, bear with me, guys. Season 2 of Sword Art Online is airing on Crunchyroll.
Sick.
Really fucking good. Pardon my French. But it's really good. This season, the MMO universe. I'm only on the 3rd episode. I think there's only 5 on Crunchyroll right now. Crunchyroll is like it's like the Netflix of anime, and they localize a lot of stuff. So even though it's all in Japanese, they localize the English, whatchamacallits at the bottom, the
Subtitles.
Subtitles, yeah. But yeah, this one's all about this game called Gun Gale Online or something like that. It's really cool.
We should all probably watch that, at least an episode, because
I have.
we're headed there with Oculus Rift and MMORPGs.
That's what I keep trying to tell you guys.
I watched an episode.
It's the next step.
Yeah.
Weird.
Okay.
It is weird. It's very Japanese anime, but it's really good.
You know I wouldn't like it, Corey.
Oh, I know you wouldn't like it. Did I talk about Knights of Sidonia on here?
Briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. That's good too. I mean, if you have Netflix, I recommend that as an anime. That's better than Sword Art Online.
There's
More mainstream.
There's a new one that Netflix just tweeted out today. Something about a pirate, a sky pirate or something that looked kind of neat, just because of the art style.
Were they doing exclusive?
Knights of Sidonia is.
Okay.
But it's I guess it's a comic series that they're exclusively doing the anime for.
Gotcha.
Which is cool. You
Yeah.
know, I like that they're diversifying their
Yeah. All their stuff has been great.
their portfolio
Yeah.
of their original shows. Okay. Anything else, Corey?
Nope.
All right. I'll go next. As I said, I've been listening to the Lord of the Rings audiobooks. Amazon Kindle or Amazon, I guess, has a new program called Kindle Unlimited, which you pay $10 a month for. It's got, I guess, like 600,000 ebooks on it. But also there's a bunch of audiobooks on it, which is right up my alley. I've been listening to audiobooks lately. As I said, it's $10 a month. So I started up that. You get a free month to try it out. So, you know, if you have any doubts, just give it a try. But as I said, I started listening to The Two Towers. I own the audiobook for The Fellowship of the Ring and The Hobbit. So I wanted to continue it. Two Towers, obviously amazing book. But I am annoyed at some of the changes made for the movie. Again, I think I did this with the Fellowship of the Ring, but specifically the Frodo Faramir situation towards the end of the Two Towers. In the movie, it has Faramir capturing Frodo and bringing him as far as Osgiliath on the way back to Minas Tirith before realizing he needs to let Frodo go on his errand. In the book, however, Frodo and Sam they kind of willingly go with Faramir and his company. Faramir has much more wisdom and foresight and is able to guess Frodo's mission. Like in the movie, he kind of, I think it's revealed to him by Sam, maybe, or maybe he knows. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen the movie,
He's
but
a smart
but
cookie.
yeah, they do a better job in the book of portraying how Faramir kind of figures it out. But he also
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was totally agreeing with you. Like he figures it out, and it's also like the way he deals with it is like very noble.
Yeah, exactly. Because he questions Frodo pretty harshly about Boromir, because Boromir is obviously Faramir's brother. And he's a little bit confused, so he questions Frodo like in front of the company of people. But afterwards, he pulls Frodo aside and says, "Look, I didn't mean to do that. Essentially, he said he was doing it mostly for show. Because he kind of knew what Frodo was doing with the company and his specific job and why he had to break off on his own. I just think the book, that was mishandled in the movie. They didn't make Faramir, I don't think, as interesting of a character in the movie.
I agree with you.
They simplified his motivations, I guess you could say, for storytelling reasons, and it was unnecessary. They could have done this just as easily in the same time frame.
Whereas they cut out other things that the story could do without. This was kind of easy to include, and they just didn't.
Yeah,
that's what you're getting at, right?
Yeah. So that's my issue with the Two Towers. Return of the King, I'll have a whole other set of issues, specifically the issue in the Shire at the end of the book, but that just gets completely cut out of the movie.
But how much did you want to see the House of Tom Bombadil?
Well, that was going to be my favorite part of the movie, and that wasn't in it. I was furious.
But to be fair, like, I could totally understand why they cut it.
Yeah, and Peter Jackson even said that there's really not any story elements that are involved with that. And I get
it being the coolest.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, the coolest scene in the book.
And Tom Bombadil's, like, his background and story is fascinating. Like, a lot of people think he's the spirit of Earth, in like physical form. And that's why the ring has no power over him.
You just blew my mind.
Yeah. And actually, when they're in the Council of Elrond, they talk about giving the ring to Tom Bombadil to protect it from Sauron.
What happened in this scene?
In the Council of Elrond, in the book, they talk about giving the Ring of Power to Tom Bombadil. But they said Tom Bombadil probably wouldn't realize its importance and may lose it because it's not something that's important to him.
He's just a stoner.
Exactly. He's the spirit of Earth, like in human
form,
physical form, I guess you could say. But again, the books have these little details that are super fascinating to me, and I don't know. The movies,
Dan,
the movies are good, but
not to hijack your week, but I forgot to mention. I totally forgot. I've gotten back into the Witcher book. Speaking of the Kindle stuff, like I've been reading on my girlfriend's Kindle. And if you're into the Witcher universe at all, please read the first Witcher book. It is so good. Every chapter is its own little Witcher story. It's not one big story. It's a collection of Witcher stories. And I'm kind of hoping that's how the Wild Hunt plays out. Is like several vignettes of fun little hunting of creatures, which is what this book is, and it's so good. It's amazing.
Okay. I'll put that's probably on the Kindle Unlimited, right?
Yeah, probably.
There's 600,000 books on it, so
yeah, it's probably on there, and it's such a fun read. It's great.
Okay.
It's funny. My girlfriend was reading another story, and I forget what it was about, but it was like a modern universe kind of thing. And she was like 40% of the way through. And every now and again, I'll borrow her Kindle and read on it the books that I want to read on it. And that was one of them. And I was also about 40% through when I stopped. So when she picked up her book again, she thought she was reading the book that she was reading before. And she read all the way from 40% to 70% before she realized it.
Wow.
She was reading a totally different book.
Holy crap.
But I asked her, I'm like, well, what'd you think of it? She's like, I was really into it. It was so interesting. That's why I kept reading. She's like, I didn't know what was going on, but like I was so into it.
Nice.
I was like, all right, that's a good sign.
Yeah. Maybe she'll want to read it from the beginning now.
Yeah, I told her. But it was so weird because it was like the story she was reading was like modern day, and The Witcher was talking about like devils and elves and dwarves and all this stuff, and she just kept reading right along.
Nice. Okay. That's all I got for this week. Just the Two Towers. Eric, what do you got going?
Yeah, so the reason I went to Brooklyn was to go to the Arsenal and Red Bulls game. So I got out of work at like 3:30 Friday, and I drove down to the city for the first time, which actually wasn't bad at all, aside from just getting molested by the tolls on the way down.
Oh, yeah.
It was about $20 worth.
Yeah, the traffic flows pretty nicely. It's not too bad of a drive.
I think from now on I'm going to drive down.
Yeah.
I liked it way more than taking the bus.
Yeah.
you listen to your podcasts and your music and stuff like that, and I just got a bag of Twizzlers and a bag of nuts and just drove down there. It was nice. So I got in at like, I don't know, 8:30, 9 o'clock. And the reason I went Friday is because all of the Arsenal fans were getting together on 14th Street at a few of the bars down there in Manhattan. So took the train into town, into Manhattan, and like it was cool. There was a ton of Arsenal fans all over the place, but it's one of these things where like I went by myself, and I can make friends pretty easily and talk to people if I'm drinking. Otherwise, I'm not really interested. So I went into the bars and they're packed, but it's like one of these things where there's groups from California, there's a group from, Oklahoma, and they're all just kind of in their groups, and then there was me.
Right.
And I was like, all right, I'm going to have a shot and a beer and go back. So I texted Corey and I was like, I'm probably not going to stay here too long. So I got a shot and a beer, which was $15.
Holy crap.
And I decided I wanted to take a cab back. Because A, I didn't want to walk back to the subway, and B, I didn't want to have to take the subway further away from the stop that I'm used to when I go down there. So the cab ride cost me another $40.
Nice.
Wow.
Because the guy didn't know where the fuck he was going.
Running up the meter.
I actually quite enjoyed my cab ride with this guy. He kept bitching about the government, which was great. But yeah, so my first night down there, what's that cost me about... Geez, $70, $80 right there. I didn't get anything out of it. So, so that night went back, and Corey and I and their roommate went out and got pizza, and I had a couple of drinks, and we played a little Mario Kart, and then the next morning we played some more Mario Kart, and that game is so goddamn fun.
Yes, it is.
It really is.
There's not many better competitive
couch co-op.
Yeah, couch competition multiplayer games in Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
And I love playing games with Corey. And I simultaneously hate playing games with Corey.
Right.
But when I beat him, it's a great feeling.
Yep.
And my buddy Jeff is my arch nemesis in FIFA because I have a hard time beating him, and Corey is my nemesis in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
So that's always a good time.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I went to the Arsenal and Red Bulls game the next day. It was fun. The first half was really good because they had players I wanted to see in. And they didn't end up scoring, which kind of sucked, but they almost did a few times. The Red Bulls goalie played really well. But it was cool because Thierry Henry, who played for Arsenal, plays for the Red Bulls now, and they kind of did this really cool sign that they put. Maybe I'll tweet a picture of it later, but they put this really cool sign up for him, and he got a big standing ovation from everybody. And it was 95% Arsenal jerseys as opposed to Red Bull jerseys. But it was cool. The second half kind of sucked. They put all the really young guys in who played really bad. But,
Okay.
I got a picture with Alexi Lawless
Saw that.
of U.S. soccer fame. He's on ESPN. I'm sure if you're watching the World Cup, you know who he is. But he was walking past me as I was going to my gate, and I was like, shit, there's Alexi Lawless. And I was going to just leave him, let him go. And other people started to see him and were taking pictures with him. So I was like, shit, I'll just get a picture with him.
Yeah.
But that was cool. Shook his hand, said thanks and everything. He seemed like a pretty cool guy. But yeah. Like I said, I think my favorite part was after the game.
Yeah.
Playing board games and card games and shit and drinking whiskey.
Nice.
But, yeah, good drive. I listened to that World War II playlist on my way home, actually. It got me out of the city, and it kept me pretty calm.
Yeah. I'll have to fire that one up.
Yeah, it was good. It was good stuff. I think that's it for my week.
Okay.
I had an
Eric,
eventful
did you
week.
punch Alexei Lawless? The chat wants to know.
No, I like Alexi Lawless.
Okay.
I'm a fan of his. But we can chat about that in the chat. That's it for me.
All right. What do you got, Will?
Pass.
Pass?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah.
Okay. I hear you. I don't do
He
much.
pleads the fifth, Dan.
That's why I have to talk about audiobooks. I don't watch any movies or TV. I just listen to audiobooks and podcasts at work.
I just lay in bed.
Nice.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of that, I'm sorry, guys. I watched Sharknado 2.
Oh?
How was it?
It was fascinating. It's so different. They have so much fun with the extracurriculars of making a film, like product placement and cameos. It's worth watching for those two reasons right there.
Gotcha.
But that's all I have to say about that.
Okay. Before we take a quick break, I'm gonna. If you like our podcast, be sure to subscribe on iTunes. Also follow us on Stitcher. That's the two best places you can get our podcast. We'll put up all of our episodes on YouTube too, so you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. We also will have our blog post up with our episode underneath that too. So within the blog post. So be sure to do that. We're gonna take a quick break and be back with our main segment right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Episode 158 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. We are now in our main segment, which is essentially a roundtable where we all actually have a topic instead of just one of us having a topic for roundtable. Right? We all have a topic? Corey, you have a topic?
I got a couple,
I have a
man.
topic.
Excellent. Eric, let's get started with you.
All right, I'll start with my Destiny thoughts.
Okay.
Now, I think they started to notice that people were a little concerned about the amount of content that was going to be put out, and I think, Dan, you let us all know that you had read or found out that we were concerned about like Earth only having old Russia as the area of Earth, and it turns out that is what's going to happen on each of the planets. There's just going to be one area that you can explore.
At least at launch.
Okay.
Because, go ahead.
Well,
we'll talk about it when we get there. Go ahead.
I started reading some stuff about they started putting information out about the end game.
Yeah.
And how they think that's when it will really start for players. And one of the interesting things that I read was about the raids that they're going to have in it, and it got me a little more excited for Destiny because I was kind of cooling off a little bit. Not that I didn't really like the game, it's just I'm disappointed at how big it's going to be.
Yeah.
I feel like they promised more than what they're actually going to give us.
Yeah.
Do you feel that they did that?
Yeah, I mean, with an MMORPG, which is kind of what they're going for,
Yeah.
you
I
have
think
to
it's very much what they went for.
You have to have a lot of places to go.
Right.
And there's 4 planets basically, and then all the raids and stuff are within those planets. There's just not a good big enough variety, I don't think, for your average MMORPG player.
And I've read that they want the reason that the level cap is going to be at 20, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Is
People will
because
hit that in the first day.
Oh my god, absolutely! They want people to make all 3 kinds of classes, and the only reason I can see them wanting people to do that is for what you said, is to play in the Crucible.
Yeah.
Other than that, what advantage is there?
I do agree. I think the raid thing is very cool.
Yeah, I want to get into that.
Okay.
So the raids, it's going to be like, they said these are going to be raids that are going to take like hours at a time, like 1.5, 2, maybe longer depending on how you play it. But it's going to be six party members are going to have to go in, and they're not going to allow matchmaking, which was interesting. So if you did one of the strike missions in the beta, you could join it, and if your group wasn't full, they would find somebody to fill your group up. Mm-hmm. It's not going to do that for the raids because they want you to go in with people like setting aside time like you would in like a EverQuest or a World of Warcraft, where you're going to set aside like a Wednesday night and have a raid with your
people or people in your guild.
Your guild, that's what I'm trying to think of. You're going to set aside a chunk of time with your guild members to go in and do this raid because it's going to take hours.
Yeah.
And I like that. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
That's great.
They need to have a lot of them, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Right.
I don't want to do the same one over and over like I did with the strike and the beta. And I know it's the beta, but I feel like the strikes are going to be very similar.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm wrong, but I just don't want to feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over and over and over.
Yeah. Which is why I think I'm only going to make one character.
Yeah,
I can't
me too.
see myself, because I don't think it doesn't seem like they're different enough between the classes. There's some minor differences, but having to go through all that story stuff again, I don't think I'm going to want to do it.
I might make a warlock and a hunter.
Right.
I like the hunter's customizable armor.
Yeah.
More.
The hoods.
But I think I like playing the warlock more.
Right.
I like the warlock grenade and special power more than I enjoy the hunters.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. The hunter was the first thing I made, and I feel attached to it now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think. What do you guys think about the raids?
I think the raids sound awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what the type of thing they should go for. But like you said, they need to have a lot of them. 5, 6, 7 of them, because people will hit the level cap in one day.
If it's 20, absolutely.
I
I could have hit the level cap and the beta in one day if I just sat there easily.
Yeah. It probably won't even be a full 24 hours.
Yeah.
It'll probably be later that morning. People will already be at the level cap. I wasn't thrilled with their explanation on why there's only one area. They said that there's just going to be a ton to do, and obviously everything wasn't unlocked. But I'm still concerned with the lack of content.
I am too, and I didn't see enough loot chests around for my liking.
I maybe found 3.
There was 5 golden loot chests on the map.
Okay,
I found all of them.
I don't think I got a single golden one. I think I just got random ones with the money in them.
The fact that they were gold, I don't know if it mattered too much.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I just found the 5 regular ones and thought they were the gold ones,
Right.
but I don't know. But yeah, I was excited to see about the raids. I'm just also nervous that they're going to DLC us to death.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was getting at. I think for launch they will have one area per planet, but I had heard plans on adding Old Chicago. That was one of the mentioned things for. I think it was before they realized that there was only going to be one area per planet. Old Chicago was supposed to be a place that you could explore. Probably will be DLC. I think Europa was mentioned too, but that will probably be also DLC.
I mean,
Paid DLC.
I don't only dislike that because I have to pay extra
Yeah.
for this game, but I think it's even worse because they promised us such a big game, and it's only going to be that big if you're willing to part with $20 here,
Yeah.
$20 there, on top of the $60 you're paying to play the game.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I guess that they're at some point probably going to put out this content, but I'm just worried that we're going to have to pay out our ass for it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going to play it and love it for 3 weeks,
Yeah.
and then when Hyrule Warriors and Shadows of Mordor comes out, I probably won't play it
No,
anymore.
I'm
going to
get my $60 out of it.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. But I don't know.
I doubt I'll play the Crucible at all. Maybe
Yeah,
one mission. I don't care about it.
I do want to get groups together for the raids, though.
Oh, absolutely.
The raids,
which we should be able to,
yeah,
because
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
we'll
a
get
lot of
6.
the people in our listening audience are getting it.
I mean, you, me, Will, Jake, Ryan, Tito.
yeah,
6 right there. Mike, I think, is probably getting it. So.
yeah,
We're good. That'll be fun.
yeah. What about your thoughts, Corey and Will? Destiny,
On rates?
and just in general, like what do you?
What you guys said, basically.
Does
is
that
the
end game?
exact same
Is that
thought.
enough for you for an end game?
I'll probably like the Crucible a little more than you guys, but I still don't want that to be the end game.
Yeah.
Basically, what you guys said is basically how I feel.
Now, if they had a persistent, I talked about this before, a persistent end game, something more akin to a planet side, or even Guild Wars 2, I think that would be more interesting, and I'd be more apt to try that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because the 6-on-6 going back and forth is kind of tired
Well, yeah,
for me at this
that's-
point.
Super tired.
Any first-person shooter has that.
Yeah. So, like, if you did, like, a planet side where it's factional war,
Yeah.
that would be way cooler, fighting over territories and stuff like that.
Which, by the way, they better put that out pretty soon because I think it's going to lose its luster.
Absolutely, I'm not going to play it. If
Yeah.
it comes out in the fall or even early next year, I'm
Yeah.
not going to play it. So I'm going to have games that I paid a lot of money for.
Honestly, at this point, they're almost better off waiting till next summer.
Yeah. Yeah, if nothing
You
else
know?
comes out.
Because we got all the games in the fall and then
Yeah.
February.
Yeah, there's a
But,
few.
I've actually been really close to playing Planet Side a few times within the last
It's fun.
3
You should
weeks.
play it.
I just don't want to do the big update.
Oh, yeah. Just set it up like tonight when you get home.
And then I got to remember my login,
Right.
which is always fun.
Okay.
But no, I just want to see your thoughts
What about-
Dan, specifically.
What about you,
that.
Corey?
I don't really have much of an opinion, Dan, considering I've never played Destiny.
Yeah, you don't know what we're talking about.
Not really. No, I honestly, I was about to say, yeah, I'm a little skeptical based on what I've heard, but really that doesn't mean anything because I don't know how to apply it.
Right.
I haven't heard one person tell me they really like the multiplayer PvP stuff either.
Yeah.
Not one person.
Nope.
I will say it is Bungie. They have a pretty good track record so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they also have a lot to live up to. So
Yeah.
who knows?
Well, one of the things the arguments they made was that, you know, they're Halo games that people played a long time afterwards, but people played the multiplayer for a long time
Yeah.
afterwards, not the single player.
And it was such a damn good multiplayer.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody has a feeling that the Crucible is going to be nearly what
and,
Halo's bringing to the
And a lot of
table.
people said it was a lot. It was too slow as compared to Halo. Halo was a little faster. I played one match, and so I have no basis for comparison. But
I'd consider Halo slower than most
Do you?
shooters
Yeah, I do
online too. So if it's slower than that,
yeah,
good lord.
I don't remember. It was one of the websites that I go to that was maybe Destructoid was talking about the Crucible in Destiny and how it was a little slower than Halo.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I feel like Halo's pace, I don't know, was faster, like Halo 4
Halo
than
4 quickened.
Halo like 3,
Yeah.
2. So I think
Okay.
that's with the additions to the stuff they had in the multiplayer with like the ordnance drops and stuff like that. But
Right.
yeah,
Okay. So we're concerned, but we're still going to be getting it.
I
and
know
we're
I'm
gonna
still
enjoy
going to
it.
like it.
Yeah.
That's not the issue.
Right.
It's just going to be the issue of how much content is there.
Yeah. And I doubt I'll buy any DLC for it.
Yeah, I really don't think I will either. I mean, unless I just absolutely love this game.
Yeah, and can't get enough.
Yeah, but there's so much coming out that
Right.
I can't see myself doing that.
Right. Same here. Okay.
Yeah.
What else you got, Eric?
You want me to keep going with my other one?
Yeah.
All right. So I just wanted to talk about PlayStation Now and kind of lump in the EA thing and just talk about subscriptions for games. So I guess we'll talk about the EA Access program that's coming exclusively to Xbox One. We'll get into that first. So it's going to be $5 a month or $30 for a year, which is a pretty nice discount for a yearly subscription. So they're calling it the EA Vault. You're going to have access to their games, and I guess it's going to start out with FIFA 14, NBA 2K14? No, FIFA 14, Madden NFL 25, Peggle 2, and Battlefield 4. So last year's versions of their games. You're going to be able to play those unlimited amounts, cloud saves, and all of that sort of thing. It's also going to give you access to new games 5 days earlier than you would get them. And all of your saves will transfer over when you get the new game. And you're going to get DLC discounts. I'm really excited about this one. It's only going to depend on, are they going to put their new games on there?
See, I don't think they are.
I don't think they are
I
either.
think they're gonna. There'll be a time frame.
Yeah,
6
yeah,
months maybe.
Yeah.
Before they put the new games on
Which
there.
is fine with me. Somebody like me, like, I do want to play Madden,
Right.
but I don't want to buy it because
Right.
I know I'm not going to want to play it for long. But I will pay $5 1 month to play Madden. Oh, that's a steal for me.
Or the $30 for the year.
Yeah, even the $30 for a year. Honestly, like,
Because isn't there like a discount? You get a discount for. I think you get discounts for their new games
Yeah.
if you buy
Yeah.
the digital versions.
you do. I think it's 10% off.
Okay.
It's 10%.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's totally worth it for me. And Battlefield 4, I liked, server issues aside, I liked the game. Like, every now and again, I will go back and play that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I'd like to try Peggle 2, but I don't want to buy it.
Right.
Madden, like I said, any
Maybe-
of those games.
Maybe Dragon Age 2 or Dragon Age 3 will be on there, and you can play that for free rather
Yeah.
than buying it.
Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare, you could get that for 10% off. The UFC game, if you're interested in that. I think that this was a big win for
Yeah.
Xbox, personally.
Yeah, it was good.
I know that Sony passed it up, supposedly. Do you guys know more about that? I didn't read too much into that.
I just heard that they did. I
I-
didn't read into it.
I read they did it because they feel like their PlayStation Plus subscription is of more value to their subscribers than just adding something else, another
yeah.
monthly cost for people to pay for.
yeah.
I've got a quote for you if you're ready for it.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. Hit me.
So a Sony rep told Game Informer, quote,
Get
"We
out.
evaluated the EA Access subscription offering and decided that it does not bring the kind of value PlayStation customers have come to expect. PlayStation Plus memberships are up more than 200% since the launch of PlayStation 4, which shows that gamers are looking for memberships that offer a multitude of services across various devices for one low price. We don't want our fans to pay an additional $5 a month for this EA-specific program represents good value to the PlayStation gamer."
Okay.
You know, a thought that just crossed my mind, I don't know why, but we've always kind of related Xbox to more of the bro sports gamer, I feel like we have on this podcast, have we not?
Yeah, it makes sense that it would go to the Xbox One because that's kind of the games that are on that
Yeah,
system, on that platform.
I could see that. What do you guys think of this program, though? Do you think it's a good
Yeah.
buy and value?
I mean, I probably won't, but I don't buy a lot of EA games. Dragon Age Inquisition's really the only one that I'm going to get. But you know what? Maybe. Well, I can't because it's not an Xbox One. But if I had an Xbox One, I probably would because depending on the time frame for new games.
Yeah, I mean, if it's 6 months, even a year later, honestly, like, I'm just playing NBA 2K14.
Right.
And as somebody who's not really a basketball fan, I don't give a shit what the rosters are at all. Like, even Madden, if I play that 6 months later, it's fine with me.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Right.
Like, I'm a big football fan, but I don't need to play Madden right now because I don't like the game that much. I don't think it's ever that good. But I do have that itch to play it sometimes, you know what I mean? And if I can pay $5 a month to do that, I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah, and that was one of the best arguments for it, because a lot of people complain that Madden is not different enough every year. And this, I feel like, will help that specific person,
Right.
As long as you're willing to not play it right away. You could pay your $30 for 1 year and have access to it a year later or half a year later.
Something we've talked about before, like, if I found a Madden 1 year that I really, really liked, like we did with, like, NHL 11, give me that Madden and let me pay $5 to update the roster, $10 to update the roster every year, and I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah.
That would be perfect for me.
Yep.
But yeah, I think this is a step in the right direction. For me personally, I think it's great.
Yeah, it's at least given the consumer options, You don't have to take part in it if you don't want to,
Exactly.
It's just another thing to, try out.
Yeah. More options, always good. So yeah, that leads me into the PlayStation Now beta. I guess we can talk about... Did anybody else try anything on it?
No.
I didn't get a chance to.
Okay, so I'll talk about my experience with it today.
I had planned on doing so until I found something out about it.
Oh.
Remember what I complained having to pay for
The pay
beta
thing?
games?
Yeah. Okay, so GameSpot did a nice article, which I tweeted earlier today.
Who wrote it?
Alex Newhouse.
See, what was one of the ones that didn't get fired? There's a bunch of people that got laid off from GameSpot.
Dan, it's never funny when somebody loses their
I'm
job.
not joking. I'm not laughing about it. I'm just saying there was a bunch of people that got laid off from GameSpot.
So anyway, it's titled PlayStation Now Rental Prices versus Buying the Full Games. So I just wanted to get into this a little bit.
Oh yeah.
First game, Killzone 3 for PS3. Lowest price to buy that they found was $5 used at GameStop. I'm sorry. Rental for this 4 hours for $3. Terrible value.
Yeah.
Dead Rising 2, $7.69 used on Amazon. You can get it for 7 days for $6 on PlayStation Now. Metal Gear 4, $7 used, 4 hours for $5. And I don't want to go through all these, but you get the picture.
Yeah.
I was disappointed with the game lineup that was on there. There were really only like 2 games that I kind of wanted to play. I even told you guys to pick a game for me. That's how little I cared which one I played. I just wanted to try it for the podcast. B, obviously the pricing was very discouraging. One game that I wanted to play was F1 2013. That one was $7 to play it for 4 hours.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but that is insane.
that one is a lot. Yeah.
I mean, I just don't understand how they think they're going to get away with that.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to pay that.
I hope not. I hope nobody pays for it.
I don't
really
think people will, Dan, honestly. Like at first, because it's a new thing, it
Yeah.
might do okay, but I think the longer it goes on, I don't think people are going to pay these prices. So today I tried it. I don't know what my internet speeds are. I have basic like Time Warner cable.
You have 15
internet.
megabytes down, 1 megabyte up.
Okay. So I played Catherine, which was Corey and Will's suggestion. They suggested Catherine or what? Papa and Yo.
Papa Yo.
Yeah.
I picked Catherine because it came across it first, and that was it. I'm lazy. I didn't want to look for the other one.
C.
Yeah. So,
Start with a C.
yeah, exactly. So I got Catherine for $3 for 4 hours, I think it was.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yes, it is.
Well, it's not bad until I get kicked off after 45 minutes for my internet shit now. And especially because, like, I wasn't into the game, per se, too much anyway. So when my internet said your internet speeds have slowed down, you will be removed from the service in 20 seconds, I said, well, that's the last time I'm playing this game. You know?
Now, is one thing I wanted to find out is it just 4 hours from when you start renting the game, or is it does it save that 4 hours? Do you know?
It will save it. I'm not positive. I'll let you know when I get home.
Right.
But I think I'll be able to play out my 4 hours.
Okay.
Oh man, that would be so bad if you couldn't do that.
Ugh.
If it timer starts when you when you buy it.
That would be such.
That wouldn't
such
make
a
any
rip-off.
sense because
No,
a lot of people can't sit down for 4 hours
No.
at a time and play games. So
and
that
that's
wouldn't make
one
sense.
of my that was one of my concerns too because like I rarely have a 4-hour window to do that.
Yeah.
So while I was playing Catherine, it started out running just fine. It seemed like I had like a disc version, and then it got fuzzy once and kind of sputtered on me, and then it went back to normal again, and then all of a sudden my internet just kind of shit out, which it tends to do. And
Perfect.
It booted me from the game. So my experience with PlayStation Now is pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
I actually refuse to. They should have put a few demos on there so people could try it out with their internet connection.
It does test your connection.
Right.
You have to do a connection test before it will even let you rent a game.
Okay.
And mine passed.
Okay.
I was looking at comments for other people on, I think it was Kotaku, asked what people's experiences have been with it so far as internet connection. Like, I asked them where they lived, who their provider was, what kind of speed you have on your internet. And most of the people on there all had good experiences with internet. So
that's
it
good.
could just be, shitty Time Warner where we live.
Yeah.
But, yeah, my experience was not good, A, with the game selection, and B, with the pricing. It's just outrageous.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, Eric, let me read you a headline from an IGN article recently posted.
Okay.
For weekly rentals, PlayStation Now's pricing is reasonable.
I don't know. Maybe for weekly. I don't have all the pricing off the top of my head.
It's not.
It really depends. Like, honestly, if there was a game... While I was playing this, I was like, you know what system this would be great for is Nintendo Wii U. If they put, like, fucking Mario Party, Mario Kart, fun games to play with other people on there...
That you may not want to buy, but
you don't
want
to
hours.
buy them, but say you're having a guy's weekend. You want to fucking fire up Mario Kart 8 for $5 for that weekend? I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to get $5 out of it.
Yeah.
But you're going to tell me you're going to play Catherine and whatever these other shitty games are that were on there. There was literally nothing that I was like, oh, that's the one I want to play. I was
Right.
just like, you guys can pick a game for me because I don't want to play any of these games.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that the catalog's going to be better when they put the whole thing out. But even so, like, I think the games that I would want to play were probably more PS1, PS2 games,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which there are none of. And
That's another controversy.
that's another controversy that I read a few articles about. I want to say it was Kotaku, Jason Schreier, that
Yep.
contacted them about it,
Yep.
and they kind of gave him the runaround at first, and then they went back to him later with a better answer and said that it's definitely something they're working on. And he kind of said, well, it was kind of something you guys promised in the first place.
Yeah.
And they kind of just gave him the runaround. But then they came back, and like I said, they said, it is definitely still in consideration. Right now we're offering just PS3 titles. We're working on it, basically.
Yeah, what they want, and this kind of makes sense, but they said that there's a lot of people that are buying that had like 360s and stuff, or didn't have or a Wii. I think they said specifically Wii. People that didn't have PS3s, so that's why they're focusing on getting PS3 games on there, which I kind of understand. But you're right, PS1 and PS2 games. I think I never had a PS2, so
Yeah.
there's a lot of PS2 games that I would love to play, but
Yeah. So right now,
stay away.
I'm super disappointed because
Yeah.
when they announced that, I remember even Corey, I think, thought that was a really cool idea, and I was excited about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I just look at the $5 price tag, and like you can buy Tomb Raider on Steam a lot of times for $5.
Guacamelee, for instance,
Buck Fitty.
$14.99 you can own the game on PS4 with all of the DLC. 90 days you get it for $15.
Why would anyone do that?
Why would you do that?
Unless you just
That takes 5 minutes of research.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or-
I mean, granted, Corey asked me if I did research today, and I responded, "What is research?" But you get the picture here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not great.
No.
Not a good start.
No. We'll see what happens with it, but not impressed so far. But just overall, like, and I guess, this is another thing that we should talk about. They did say they're working on, like, a Netflix structure to just have a subscription each month.
That's
a
fine.
subscription fee. And I guess it would depend how much it was.
Yeah.
But
People are saying $5. I can't see it being that low.
with those prices that they're charging, there's no way it's going to be. It had to be at least 10, wouldn't it?
I would think.
And then you're talking about on top of your PlayStation Plus subscription.
Yeah, which is
Which-
$50 a year.
Yeah, and if you don't have that, it's kind of silly.
It's a lot if you pay monthly.
Yeah.
I think it's like, I want to say it's like $10 a month if you don't get the year.
It might be more than that.
Really?
I don't know.
As someone who at one point only had a subscription to OnLive to play games, $10 a month isn't bad.
No,
No,
but I mean, if
uh,
you're talking about on top of your other PlayStation subscriptions
True,
and buying
yeah.
new games and stuff like that, like I think it's a bit much.
Sure, yeah. But I will say, like $10 a month, even for 90% dumpy games, I still kind of got my money's worth just because I could try a bunch of different stuff, and there was like always 1 or 2 games that I was really into playing, and I'd play a lot of. But overall, Eric, I'm with you. I think their prices are ridiculous,
Yeah, egregious.
egregious.
But what do you guys think about like a subscription-based future for video games?
I don't like it. I like owning my stuff.
Uh-huh.
That would be the type of situation like Corey trying a bunch of different things and seeing what sticks, what you like. I don't like this whole subscription thing. I like
It would be so weird.
It's killing ownership.
It would
of
be so
things.
weird if like you had to subscribe to EA games or subscribe to Ubisoft
To be able to
games
get
or
them, yeah.
subscribe to whoever.
Yeah.
It just sounds so weird to me.
Yeah, because at least, like, I was against Steam at first, too, but at least, like, those games that I buy are tied to my account.
Yeah.
And I can take them with me to my next computer, my next computer,
Yeah.
as long as Steam is around, which, I mean...
Didn't you guys
cool.
just finish saying how into EA Access you were?
Yeah, no, I am, but it would be weird if... But I could still buy EA games. I'm talking about, like, if everything just went to subscription-based
Yeah.
and digital.
Yeah,
Oh, well, yeah, that's a totally different question.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I mean.
that's what we're saying.
No, I think right now, if people do that, like I said, EA Access for me is great.
Yeah,
That's perfect for me. But I don't want everything to just go to that.
Right.
I still want, like Dan, I like seeing my collection of games. Like,
yeah.
I don't know why. I'm proud of myself when I see it.
I look on my Steam library at my 250 games, I'm like, yeah,
Dan just sits there and he goes,
I won't get to half of these, but I have them if I ever
Exactly.
need them. They're waiting patiently for
yeah. But yeah, that's the two things that I wanted to talk about.
me. Okay. Corey, what do you got for us?
I have an easy one. It's more of a thought experiment than anything worthwhile talking about. So a new Final Fantasy themed bar opened in Japan.
Saw that.
I didn't tweet. I'm not sure if I tweeted it or anything. I read about it a little bit. Sounds interesting. But my question to you, gentlemen, if a video game themed bar opened up near you, which game would you want it to be based around and why?
Jeez.
I've got mine.
Yeah, get yours going and then I'll think.
Mine would either be like a Tin Star or a Red Dead Redemption. Something that gives
Wild
me
West.
Wild West. I actually went to a bar last night called the Kings County Saloon, which I was really hoping would scratch that itch for me, but I went there and it was just a crusty hipster bar, and I hated every second of it.
Crusty hipster.
But I want to walk in somewhere and have somebody playing on the piano and like have card games going at the tables.
I love that.
And everybody being super sweaty and like drinking whiskey and you know.
Oh no, I absolutely hear you, Corey.
If it's
I love that.
nighttime, the only lighting is lanterns, and maybe there's a couple of scantily clad whores sitting around.
Yeah, no, Corey, you know what? Kind of the same vein, just kind of a different time period for me, I think it would be.
Just go.
The only game I can think of that provides this, and I'm sure there's other ones, but Mafia, the video game. I'm really into, like, mobsters, and I'm watching Boardwalk Empire right now, and I really love that. And they kind of did the same thing, Corey. It was, like, naked women everywhere. Everybody was smoking a cigarette at all times. Everybody
Yes.
had a gun and a knife on them.
Was everyone sweaty?
Everyone's sweaty and greasy, greasy hair. Everybody has a thick accent no matter what area that they're from. Like, if you're Irish or, Italian, the accent is super, like, 100% times what it really should be. I love stuff like that, and everybody's playing cards, everybody's drinking. I love that. And maybe the key, and I want this to come back. This is my favorite thing. I want this to come back so badly. Everybody's dressed in a fucking suit and tie. Always. I love that. I want to walk around looking dapper all the fucking time, and I want all the women to be wearing a nice dress at all times. I think it's great.
Yeah.
With a hat.
Yes. Oh, God. Hat's part of the suit.
Yeah.
I want to have, like, a purple vest, fucking flask at my side. I just think that would be great. That's the kind of bar that I want to fucking hang out at.
Like Jim Halpert at the new Boss episode.
I'd have to see it again. I've seen so many freaking...
When Charles comes to town and Jim Halpert is wearing the tuxedo.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah. But you know what I mean? I
know what you mean, yeah.
Like, when I watch Boardwalk Empire and I see everybody's walking along the Atlantic City Boardwalk, but everybody's wearing, like, a suit, no matter what. I love that. Everybody was, like... It was just a more respectable time period, I feel like.
Sure.
Even though those people were up to some shady stuff, I can respect being up to some shady stuff.
Mm-hmm.
At least you're looking good.
Yeah.
You gotta look good while you're doing it.
Yeah.
Making a living.
I think that would be it for me. Maybe a good mob setting, like a Dick Tracy. You know?
What about you, Will?
Dan, Will?
The first two things that came to my head were Fallout or Skyrim.
Skyrim was suggested in the chat also.
Yeah, those were the first two that popped into my head.
What about the Skyrim world, though? Would you want a pub based around?
Like
just
what, what city? Like
No. Just like, what about it? Like going in. I can kind of see it now. Like coming in from the wintry mountains and going into a nice
cover,
like a warm bar with like a fire, like a big fireplace, like at the wall.
With somebody playing a lute in the corner.
Yeah,
and there's a big ass pot of stew over the fire.
Yeah, exactly.
And Will has nothing on but a covering for his nutsack and butt cheeks.
Loincloth.
Yeah, but it's like big and furry.
Yeah.
It's a pelt of some wild animal he has just skinned.
Over his Drangus.
Yeah, he's covering nothing but his Drangus.
Yeah, that's what
What kind of weapon would you walk in with?
Spellbook.
A broom.
Oh, he's a mage.
Yeah.
A broom. He's the bartendress.
And for like the Fallout one, I don't know, some like rundown like
where you're the only person in it.
Yeah, like with the bartender, maybe another person. It's all like rusty. And...
Will, you've never been to the old Friar Inn over in Endicott?
Industrial looking.
Yeah, industrial looking, rusty, just like kind of like Megaton.
Yeah.
Like a Megaton bar is what I thought.
I think Jake brings up a good point with Skyrim. Maybe there'd be some bards in there singing tales.
Yeah.
Sure. That would be great.
Okay.
I want to go to a bar that has a bard.
Me too.
Singing some sort of epic.
Oh, God, that'd be great.
That would be great.
Yeah. I'd pay money for that. I'd pay good money for that, to see that.
What about a video game themed bar that changes its theme like every month? Each month it's a new theme.
I like it.
Also a great idea.
It would be hard, I feel like. It'd be a pain in the balls to pull off and do it right.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you could pull some people in.
Yeah.
Dan, write that down in the idea Bible.
Could I just have my first idea?
I think you did.
We probably shouldn't broadcast. We should. All right, we're ending the episode right now.
We're opening a bar. See you guys.
Yeah. Okay.
What was yours, Dan?
I'm gonna go with Mass Effect.
Okay. Oh yeah, Space Lounge.
Yeah, I like the idea of and not even necessarily. It would have to be like on the Citadel. I also like the idea of maybe not something that's super like space age and futuristic, but kind of a slummy space age bar with lots of different aliens in it.
Yeah.
I think
Like
that would
the
be
cantina
sweet.
on Tatooine?
Yeah, exactly like that.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
exactly what I'm looking for. Live music, kind of maybe dangerous. Wouldn't personally want to go into this as me because I try to avoid danger wherever possible. But I think that would be awesome.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good one, Dan.
Yeah,
I think we all had good ones here. That was a good question, Corey.
that was a good question.
Prompted by the Final Fantasy bar in Japan.
Yeah. That'd be
Alright.
cool to go to.
Yeah, it would.
Even as a non-Final Fantasy fan, I'd like to go to that.
Yeah.
Have some tonics.
Sure, why not?
Drink a Phoenix Down if you're feeling
Down.
Saucy.
Phoenix Down would be vodka and Red Bull.
Oh yeah.
Be a Bloody Mary. Just this.
We should start naming all of drinks after video game things.
We had a
We did an episode about that.
Yeah.
way
Yeah,
back
but like
when.
like Dan was saying, a Phoenix Down would be a vodka Red Bull, and we'll just call it Phoenix Down from now on.
That's a good idea.
We should.
I
Make
dig
a
it.
list.
Let's write a blog post.
All right.
That's a good idea.
Another idea, Dan. I've just had 2 ideas.
Dan, put it in the idea Bible.
Stop it.
You got it.
Stop it with these ideas.
You're showing me up.
All right, Will, what do you got?
Mine was provoked from my dad on this one. We all at a very young age started playing video games. We may have brought this up before. I didn't remember it, and he didn't, so I decided to use this for my roundtable. So from a very young age, we all, played video games and played a lot of video games. Now, where would you think we would all be if video games weren't as big a big part of our lives?
That's a
Like,
good
what would we
question.
be doing? Like, what would we be into? Like, would we do anything differently? It's kind of hard to reflect on, but
No, I've actually thought about this quite a bit. I would just be a bookworm. I wouldn't be in any different situation. I don't think video games took away from
anything.
anything that I would have been doing otherwise. It would have been not doing anything. You
Yeah.
know? I probably would have just read more books. Is the only thing.
Yeah, I'd watch more movies and stuff like
No,
that.
I don't even think I'd do that.
Just books.
I think I would just have read more books. I wouldn't. I'd be in the same situation.
Yeah.
You know, because video games aren't to blame for my laziness and lack of desire to do well in school. I would have found something else to distract me. You know?
Cocaine.
It's more of an effect rather than a cause.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Am I phrasing that right?
Yeah. I guess. But yeah, I just would have read more books. That's all.
I think I would have played more sports.
Well,
Definitely.
now that you mentioned that, that's the exact same with me. I would have played more sports and worked
Yeah.
more at them.
I probably would have been in better shape. Definitely would have been in better shape. I would have like I said, played more sports, been a little more athletic. So I would have been outside more in general. I feel like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because I'm not really into movies. I never really was. So that wouldn't have done it. I've never liked to read. Video games has always been what I've done
Yeah.
when I had free time.
Yeah.
Always been. I probably would have started drinking at an earlier age. You know?
Yeah.
Because video games, it's always been a distraction from
Everything.
everything. So
Everything
Yeah.
in life.
I probably would have done better in school if I'm being completely honest. Because like when the options were, hey, Eric, want to go over to Graham's and play NFL 2K5 or go to class?
Right.
I want to go play NFL 2K5.
Yeah, me and Eric both ruined our college careers
Yeah.
by going to Graham's house.
So
and playing
I mean,
video games.
honestly, I would have been way better at everything. I would have been more athletic, not so fat, smarter. Yeah,
Yeah. I'm pretty much in the same boat with like
Maybe
both
not smarter.
sports. Yeah.
I would have done better in school. That doesn't make me smarter.
You would have
Right.
worked harder at school.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I like to think I would.
Same here. I probably would have found something else as well to distract me from school stuff, but yeah, definitely the sports would be a big one for me. I was kind of lazy and rather play video games than play like football.
Football's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. I would have played at a younger age too, probably.
There's no way in hell I would have ever done that.
I probably would have got better at guitar.
Yeah, music's another one. Maybe I would have learned guitar.
I mean, like I said, you guys know this. I don't know if I've probably talked about it before, but I was in a band in high school, and like, I played rhythm guitar. We had a lead guitarist, and like, our drummer, our lead guitarist, and our bass player were all like really good at their instruments, especially the bass and guitar player. Like they were twins, and they were like prodigies at their instruments. It was crazy how good they were, and I was definitely the weakest at my instrument. And I feel like without video games, I probably would have put more time into getting better at that, but I just didn't.
Yeah, it didn't.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was happy being where I was at and, like, very mediocre at it, so got to put more time into GoldenEye or, whatever else. Halo.
Yeah. Okay. Corey, what about you?
Yeah.
I would have died of AIDS.
Oh, Jesus.
So suck on that.
Took a turn for
Yeah.
the worse here.
Corey went somber.
You guys think you're worse off for having played video games? I mean, come on.
No,
No.
I said I wasn't. I wouldn't be in no
Yeah.
better of a situation.
Yeah, I
Not
do
Dan,
think I
but
am.
you two schmoes.
No, I definitely think I'm worse off for it. Wouldn't change it, but I think I'm probably worse off for it.
That kind of depresses me a little bit.
Why?
I don't know.
I'm fine with
I-
it.
I don't think you're worse off for having played video games.
It's too bad my girlfriend's not here. She could probably put up a really good argument against that.
Well, the way I look at it is 1 week I put over 100 hours of Terraria in. What I could have been doing something else.
I mean,
Yeah,
it depends how you look at it. Because
But would you is the thing, or would you just find
Exactly.
something else to distract you? Because
Exactly.
I feel like it's more of a personality thing than it is what you're doing. Like for me, like I said, I would have filled in my video game time with TV or probably books. I would have read more books.
Yeah.
Which was my, perhaps in poor taste, my joke of saying I would have contracted AIDS and died. Like, that's kind of what I was getting at with that.
Yeah. Well, see, my other loves are sports and like music, so I probably would have done something with that.
I think you got to look at it like this, Will. Like, you putting 100 hours into Terraria in a week.
It's impressive, first of
To
all.
us and, like, people that listen to video game podcasts, like, that is an achievement
Yeah.
and an accomplishment
Yeah.
that you should be proud of.
Well done.
But really, it is. Like, in this
Yeah.
circle of people, it is. It's something you accomplished, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
To people that are not video gamers, that's absurd.
Yeah.
And you're a real piece of shit for doing that.
I can't wait to hear
That's a good point.
my father's reaction to that.
But that's how it is. Like, and I struggle with this argument with my girlfriend. Like, just with the podcast itself. Like, it's a struggle because she doesn't understand that the podcast to me is not just me going and hang out with my friends and bullshitting about video games. It's like something that I care about doing and that I enjoy doing, and like I think it's cool that we have people around the world that want to listen to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird,
Right.
but it's really cool.
Yeah.
And that's the struggle. Like, for people that aren't video gamers, it's a stupid thing.
Yeah.
It's barely probably even a hobby to them. It's just a stupid thing and makes you lazy.
Yeah.
And,
And-
to them, watching reality TV shows is more productive than
Right.
our video
Yeah.
game time.
Exactly. It's all a matter of taste. Like, she watches, like, Say Yes to the Dress, and I'm like, ugh. Like,
Yeah.
my mind freezes when that is on the television. But, you know, it's different for everybody. Everybody has their own tastes, and I think it's great when Will plays 100 hours of Terraria in a week. But,
Yeah.
And can bring 100 hours of Terraria perspective to the podcast.
right, that's great.
Fantastic.
But there's people who are like, wow, you
Back
guys
pain.
are the fucking worst. So it's all about perspective.
Yeah.
I do want to say during that 100 hours is when my desk was lower than my chair, so I had to like hunch over.
Nice.
For Corey, can experience that, he knows how that is.
That's why Will now has scoliosis.
All right, Corey. What about you? Where would you be without video games?
I just told you I'd be dead.
You'd be dead.
I would be dead.
But really, what do you
No,
think? Is there
it's
anything
like-
you would have gotten more into, do you think?
I really don't think so. Especially when I was younger, I was able to detach myself from my desire to play video games and do what I thought was best for me at the time. Even now, it's sort of the same way. Like, yeah, I played a lot of video games, but that's because at the time, video games is exactly what I want to do, and
No,
I
I
feel like
hear ya.
I'm better for it. And you know, I'm not one of those people that if something comes up that's better for me, I'm not going to turn it down just because I want to play more video games. You know, I'll go and do it. I really, I don't know. I feel like I probably wouldn't be in any different situation. Like Dan said, I would have filled it with something just as time consuming, whether it be watching more movies or watching more TV or, you know, listening to more music or drinking more alcohol. I don't know. Like I spend that time playing video games for a very specific reason, and I would have just found a different reason to fill that time and accomplish the same thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't have done anything quote unquote productive, you know, in the eyes of other people. Like I wouldn't have taught myself a new skill or anything. You know,
Isn't it funny?
I
though,
would have
like,
just done nothing.
perspective is so weird because, like I was saying, this is productive to us. But
Right.
like, if I had not played video games and I got like way better at basketball, that would have been seen as way more productive.
Right.
But in reality, it's not at all.
It's not different, right?
It's not.
Right.
It's not different. It's just athletics versus sitting on the couch with the controller.
Yeah.
It's all how you think of it.
Yeah.
Different strokes
Well,
for
I
different
think-
folks.
And I think when Bill Murtha came on this podcast, he said that exact thing. Like, he's happy that we have taken all this quote unquote wasted time on playing video games and applied it to something worthwhile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he did say.
That is what he said.
Which is to your point, Eric.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say in the chat, Mike said he thinks the world would be worse off without the thumbstick athletes.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Quite the compliment.
That is a good compliment.
So I've got a roundtable to do real quick, just to obviously finish off. I'm obviously playing The Last of Us Remastered right now. I actually think we've talked about this before, but HD remakes you want to see either PS4, Xbox One, or remade for the PC.
Mass Effect.
I've got Mass Effect.
Definitely one. There's a lot.
BioShock for me, for sure. We talked about this last week.
Yeah,
right? Last week.
Yeah, I put that on my list actually too, to have all the BioShocks. I think they could do, even Infinite to put it on the new console would be awesome.
For me, there's only 3 that come to mind, and one of them's already been made. Last of Us,
Right?
Heavy Rain, and Journey, and that's coming to PS4.
Nice. So Heavy Rain.
I was tempted to say none at all because I rarely want to go back and play a video game. But watching you play The Last of Us makes me really want to play it again.
Oh, you got my copy.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll play it though. Like, I'm gonna play the DLC.
Yeah.
I don't
that's
know
fine.
if I'll go back and play the story again.
Right.
I might. It's just like it was such an emotional haul for me to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I just felt depressed, kinda, and like down, and it just beats on you.
Yeah.
It was a great game, but it beats on you.
I could see that.
You know, and they're like watching you play it. There were parts that I forgot were there, where I was just like, man, I don't know if I got it in me again.
Right. But yeah, I mean, you do at least have to try the DLC part.
Jake said Skyrim.
Skyrim. I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been done enough, though, with mods. I mean, it's already...
Well, for PC.
Right, yeah.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, but they could come out with that on the PS4, and I think it'd sell pretty well.
Yeah. Oh, I'd buy it
yeah.
for sure because I never played any of the DLC.
Right. Yeah, if they came out
Wonder-
with like a Game of the Year edition.
I wonder what it would take for Bethesda to just say, okay, your mods are ours now. Thanks. And
I don't know.
Re-release a modded version on consoles.
That would probably
Yeah,
get them bad press.
Yeah, like a Sweet Effects. They just apply Sweet Effects to it and put it on PS4.
Sure.
I got a couple. Dragon's Dogma. I want
Yeah.
to see a PC release for.
I still got to play that.
God damn it! Why haven't they not done this yet? Or put it on the PS4?
Capcom.
Yeah. What are they doing? I don't know. That was a great game.
Capcom is in flux. If
You
I
know-
Yes, they are.
understand
You know what I
correctly.
need to do is I need to get a Roku or something to put upstairs at my house so that I can move my PS3 downstairs. Because
Yeah.
right now, like I won't play any of the games on it.
Right. Well, I'll let you know because me and the wife are gonna get a new Roku and they go on Woot for like $40 a
Oh,
lot.
nice.
So I'll let you know when
Yeah.
so you
Please
can
do.
get one.
We've got to vote for Knights of the Old Republic in the chat.
I put that's on my list. Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2
I might
would be
try
great.
that,
Would be
'cause
great remakes.
I don't know. I played probably the first one,
Mm-hmm.
but like that was back in the day when I didn't finish games and I
Right.
didn't get far in them. And those are 2 games that I would definitely give a whirl.
Yep. I actually recently bought Knights of the Old Republic 2. It was during the Steam summer sale. Yep, I put those on there. I put Dragon Age 1 and 2 on my list. With the third one coming out, it'd be sweet to see the new games because I don't like playing them on PC as much as I like playing them on console.
I agree.
I know a lot of people will say that's blasphemy, but I played the first 2 games on console, so that's how they were to me. Especially the first Dragon Age, I played 5 or 6 times probably. So I just haven't been able to get used to the PC controls as well. And then I put Sid Meier's Pirates. I would love to see like a high definition, like really good graphic version of Sid Meier's Pirates come out.
Yeah. That would be pretty cool, too.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time playing that back in the day.
I've got a couple.
Let's hear it.
Coming from the chat, the Fallouts, for sure.
Fallouts, yeah.
I was actually just going to say Fallout 3, yeah.
Yep. Also, Final Fantasy VII, like, I'd replay that HD. Are you kidding me?
They did
Oh,
a
yeah.
remake.
Not HD, though.
No, it's not really HD. They supposedly improve the graphics, but I thought it looked worse.
7 and 8 for sure. I'd go back and replay those.
Yeah.
I said BioShock. Oh, there's one more. Now I can't remember what it was. Poop. I got nothing.
Dookie.
I'll tell you what, Final Fantasy's not a bad one for me.
Yeah.
I did buy I forgot I had that. 10.
Oh.
Was
On Vita.
that 10 and 10 too?
I think so.
Yeah.
No, I got it for PS3.
Oh.
Because the Vita one they did not have hard copies of.
Oh, that's right.
That's what I wanted to get it for.
Yeah.
But those are games that I always just want to go back and play because you guys love them so much. I don't think I could get into the real early ones, but the ones where they actually start to look like video games that I would play.
You would want to play the pixel ones.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Even like
good.
the old Nintendo games, like the 64 Nintendo games.
Great stuff.
I'd be into that. Like GoldenEye,
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
That was a good one. Real good one.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
Not I.
No,
Red Dead Redemption's got a vote. Saints Row 4.
Saints Row 4? Oh, to come out on the new console.
Yeah, 3 or
Yeah,
4.
that would, yeah. I really want to play Saints Row the Third again.
Such a good game.
Love it. All right, we're going to take a quick break and be back with what we played right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Episode 158 of Thumbstick Athletes Podcast. We are now in what we played. Corey, you want to get started with what you played?
I don't have much to talk about, Dan. I played
right.
a little Mario Kart throughout the week. That game still is just a blast to turn on and cruise through some levels here and there. It's a really good time.
I still play quite a bit of Mario Kart.
Yeah, surprisingly,
just about every day.
Yeah, if we're like sitting around in the living room and it's the guys, I'll be like, "You guys want to play some Mario Kart?" and we'll play, and it's so much fun.
Yeah.
You know, we have such a good time with it. And then I played a lot more Divinity. I'm up to level 8 now. Not much more to talk about from what I talked about last time. I'm still really, really loving that game. I still wish I had waited for one of you guys to start to play with me because I think it'd be a hell of a lot of fun co-op. But it is what it is, and I'm still really enjoying it, and I think it's a really well-done game.
Nice.
Reviewing really well, too.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. That everything, Corey?
Yeah, like I said, there's nothing new for me to talk about, so I won't belabor my games played.
All right. Well, I'll go next. I, of course, played The Last of Us Remastered, which is my first experience with The Last of Us. I really like it. We did an episode about it, so I'm just going to talk about my thoughts. I did not like the stealth at first.
Okay.
There was one part specifically where you first come into contact with the infected, where I almost stopped playing because I did.
Is that when I was watching?
Were you watching?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was.
I got really frustrated because what happens with stealth games is, if I try to go slow and it doesn't work for me like 2 or 3 times, I try to go fast and try and accomplish it, and I get the more I die, the more impatient I get, and I have to like slow down and be just slow down and keep going. If it had been like an Assassin's, if I wasn't so interested in the story, I might have just stop playing at that point. I would have gone back to it, but I got a little frustrated. But and both Tito told me this, and I read it. I think on Kotaku at some point. But it's harder at the beginning because you don't have a lot of ways to deal with enemies, which is true because the clickers specifically are harder to take down than other enemies. So. Once I got past that and now I'm starting to unlock a bunch of different weapons, it's a lot easier to strategize how you're going to take down, a group of enemies or, because you actually have weapons. And then like when I screw up, which is inevitable that I'm going to screw up my stealth somehow, I have a shotgun that I can shoot stuff with. So that's good. And I really love the story. I love the characters. I think Ellie is a fantastic character. I love how much of a firecracker she is. Yeah. It's great stuff.
You're playing stealthy pretty much most of.
I try.
Kind of have to.
Yeah. Because otherwise you blow through your resources pretty fast.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought you were going to quit. I was watching
I was
you?
this close.
I was like, Jesus, this is the time he's quitting. And then you went back to it, and I was like, nope, this is the time.
I was this close to quitting. And then there was one part that was a little bit later on that I had a little trouble with, not as much. It was where you're in that like open area where I would throw the Molotov cocktail at the beginning of the level. I died a couple times.
There's lots of bricks.
Yeah.
Lots of bad guys.
Yeah.
That's where I quit.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Okay. But as I said, it does get a lot better. The one of the things I really like about it is I have to try the 30 frames because you can lock the frame rate at 30 frames per second, but I like how smooth and fluid everything is at the 60 frames per second rate. Graphically, it looks really good. You can tell in some places that it's a last gen game, but for the most part, it looks really good. And I'm really enjoying. I'm about halfway through. Really enjoying myself so far. Yeah, I dig it.
Well, I guess the important question, I don't know, Eric, were you going to ask it, but Game of the Year last year?
You can't say that without finishing it.
Yeah, but I would say not at this point. I really can't see anything for me beating Rayman Legends only because of what that game meant to me and my wife when we played it together. Right. I'm not going to get that experience anywhere else. And Rayman Legends was such a good game. I don't think that's going to be topped. It'll be like whether or not I think BioShock Infinite or Last of Us was better.
That's the real question.
Right. I still think we made the right choice with Skyrim for Game of the Generation. Just because of the the versatility of the game.
Nope.
And the amount of time you could spend playing it. But yeah. I still don't really like stealth games very much, and that's the only thing that's frustrating.
Well, I don't
about
either,
it.
but it didn't bother me in this game.
Yeah.
Because I just thought it was done so well.
Yeah, I probably would have liked it a little bit better if it was like a third person cover shooter, like Gears of War kinda, because I don't like sneaking.
See, I like how you had to sneak and conserve your ammo and shit like that. That built up the suspense more.
Yeah, but as I said, now it's getting better because I don't know what's going to be like later on in the game if there's going to be some really hard parts or not, but like as far as sneaking and stealth but at least now, like I said, I have weapons that I can deal with it. But really, like the story and the voice acting and the characters, top notch. They're very well done. Very well done. So go ahead, Corey.
Corey,
yeah. So, Eric, I want to say that I do agree with you. This game really benefits from that stealth aspect rather than it being more like an Uncharted, which is the cover mechanic I think Dan is referring to.
Yeah.
But that whole thing, like both of those situations are the reasons why I just do not like those kind of games. Because, like Dan said, if there's an issue and I can't do it, I get frustrated and I can't be patient with it. And it's just preventing me from experiencing the story, which in the case of The Last of Us is fantastic. And those little frustrations is all it takes for me to be like, forget this game. I'm done. I'm out. And it sucks because I totally agree. It's probably one of the best stories in games because I watched all the cinematics.
Yeah.
Went ahead and just watched all the cinematics without playing the game. But it's just like the gamer in me is just like I can't do this. And it's the same with Uncharted. Like it's a little bit different gameplay, but like if I have an issue, all that is doing is preventing me from advancing and enjoying the story, and I just hate it.
See, and Uncharted is different for me because I wasn't as into the story and characters.
Right.
I was
Nor should you be because Last of Us is far and away better.
Yeah.
But
I actually almost put it on easy difficulty. I'm on normal. I prefer
wouldn't
to play.
blame you.
I prefer to play on normal only because I do like a challenge. I don't want to breeze through it because I feel like that's important in The Last of Us is having it be kind of difficult and not mopping the floor with everything. But I now that I've got weapons and you can plan out a strategy and stuff. I also like how good the combat feels. Like when Joel's like punching someone, it really feels like you're really hitting someone.
Violent.
And when you take a hit, you're like, ow, like that. You know, when you get shot, like that hurts. You know, you feel the weight of the gunshots and the blows you take.
Have you done any photo mode at all?
No, I probably won't do anything with that.
People done some good pictures with that stuff.
I'm too lazy. I don't really have an eye for it either. What would take a good picture? I want to play
Dan,
play through the story. What?
You just got to do what all the kids are doing these days. Take a million pictures. One of them's bound to be good.
Yeah, one of them's gonna stick. I'm not gonna do that though. I just want to play the game. I don't want to sit in it and take pictures of pretty things. I want to experience the story.
Photo mode intrigues me.
Yeah. I mean, you could try
Yeah, I
it
will.
when you
I'm
have
going to, yeah.
when you borrow mine. I hope to have it beaten. I'll have it beaten by next week. No question. So I can give my final verdict.
It's just those games with me, man. Like the linear adventures, I'm just not into. I think the closest thing I can think of that kind of worked for me, Will, I know you played it, is the newest Devil May Cry.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why that one worked and the other worked for me and the other ones didn't. But it's most of the time that type of game just doesn't.
See, even though Last of Us was a linear game, I never felt like it was linear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the same with Uncharted because you even though it is linear, like you never feel like you're being directed down one path.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like you're kind of making your own path, but it's just I don't know. I've never been able to get into those games.
I could see it.
I can't. You're a real prick, Corey.
I'm totally admitting it's me. It's not the
No,
game.
I know,
I understand how great that game is, and that ending in The Last of Us is right up there with one of the greatest endings of all time in anything, in my opinion. Even though I cheated to watch it, but
Oh, you know what? Whatever. If you weren't going to play it, you should.
Yeah.
exactly.
Just to
that
know
was
what
my
happens.
conclusion as well.
Yeah. But yeah, I like. I'm really digging it so
Good.
far.
Yeah, I think you'll only get more into it.
Yeah.
The more you get into the characters and stuff.
What part did you leave off at?
Where Joel crashes the truck.
Okay, yeah.
Is that like halfway through?
Did you meet? I think his name
Bill?
is Bill.
Yeah.
You did. Okay.
Yep. I got through the Bill part.
Did you have any trouble going through? I think it was like a graveyard with Bill. Was he getting in your fucking way?
Yes, that happened a couple
That
times.
pissed me off so much.
I was searching like some steps, and he kept getting in my way.
Bill.
It only happened briefly,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
I dig it. Like I said, I was this close to quitting,
Very
but
beginning.
I stuck through it because, like I said, Tito.
I
he's
thought
like-
you were gonna.
Tito's like just it's gonna be tough at first. Just stick through it. You'll both get the hang of it and get stuff to.
I'll tell
to
you
deal.
what, Dan. I know you said you probably won't try it, but the multiplayer is really good for that
Yeah,
game.
I probably won't try it.
It's different. I mean, not only it's third person, obviously,
Yeah.
but like just the crafting aspect of it is in the multiplayer,
Yeah,
and it really requires teamwork.
right.
It really requires teamwork, and it's what a fucking good game.
It is a good game. I'm glad I got to play it. I'm glad they
Me
decided
too.
to put it on the PS4
Yeah, me too.
because it is.
Would've been
it
stupid
it
not
is-
to.
Yeah, it's an important game. So I'm glad I got the opportunity, and I'm really liking it so far.
Good.
I don't think it's going to change. So, the only other thing I played was I played a ton of Civ 5.
Yeah.
God damn it! I know as soon as I fire it up that I'm like, oh, I'll play for an hour. Yeah, well, I stopped playing it. It was one of those 9:30 at night I started. I finished at 3:30 in the morning and
Dear
had
God.
no idea that 6 hours had gone by. What a great game.
Did you have work the next day?
No, it was Monday into Tuesday or
Okay.
Sunday into Monday maybe. I don't know. It was before The Last of Us came out. I wanted to, get as much Civ time as I could. But what happened was, Sweden. It was Sweden that set up the World Council, which is like the UN, and they proposed a resolution to put a trade embargo on my empire.
Ooh.
Which pissed me off because I was an economic empire, so I lost all my trade partners. So in an effort to maybe either reverse that or reclaim, I went to war with Sweden again.
Yeah. Take them out.
I took them over. They were in Europe, so I wiped them out. They had a city in France, a city in Germany, and a city in Great Britain. So I wiped them out, and it didn't work. Somehow Greece managed to pilfer the World Council, so now I have to go to war with Greece.
Are you just going to keep
Gr-
conquering
gr-
until...
I don't like to do the conquering. I like doing a trading empire, but I also, I'm having a hard time trading because I can't trade with any of the other civilizations. So
Do any of you have Civ 4 on Steam.
I'm pretty sure I have Civ 4.
I might
I
too.
have it. Yeah.
I gotta get linked
I have
up
it
in
in all
this
the
family
expansions.
sharing because my computer can run that.
Okay.
I looked.
I'm pretty sure I have Civ 4. I know I play. You know what? I might not have Civ 4. I know I had it, but it was pre-Steam. So one of us has it. Corey said he had it, right?
Yeah, I have it in all the expansions.
What are you giggling about?
Corey, shut up.
There's a funny comment in the chat.
Oh.
I won't share, but
So yeah, Civ 5, great stuff.
I just got it.
we're talking about puns in the chat. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to derail anything,
that's
but I
fine.
really got the giggles.
Case
That's
of the
fine.
giggles.
Booze will do that to you.
So Will, do you got anything?
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about it for real long, but I've been playing Dota 2 again. Got back into it. That's the first game that I've been, playing a lot of. Oh, I played the Destiny beta. I should probably talk about that a little bit
Oh, you
first.
finally did, huh?
Yeah, I got to like level 6 in 3 hours maybe of play. Not a whole lot. I didn't want to play a lot of it because I knew I'm just gonna be doing it again in a month and
A little over a month.
5 weeks basically.
Yeah.
But I finished all the story stuff, and they're like, "Oh, go to the Crucible," and I was like, "Nah,
Yeah.
that's about it." But still really good. You're right; it does feel better playing the beta than it did in the alpha.
Yeah.
Good game. I hope it's good and doesn't do. I don't know. As you guys talked about in the roundtable segment,
Hopefully there's enough stuff to do.
exactly. And like I said, I played for like 3 hours and got to level 6, so the level 20 level cap is,
Not
not
looking
going
good.
to be hard to get to.
Right.
And as you guys said, I don't know how much I will want to replay through the story. I don't know if it's going to be good. It was average when I played it.
Yeah,
and
that was one of the questions, is whether they'll have more clarification on what's going on in the story.
because I had no idea.
Yeah.
The only thing I know is the dinklage.
Mhm.
That's about it. But yeah, Dota. Basically, I was bored and I got a dual monitor. I forgot to mention that in my week, so I have that set up. So now it's easy for me to play Dota because instead of having to look on my phone and like resize while playing to look at like guides for stuff like that, I just have it on my smaller screen. So the heroes I used to play off was Vengeful Spirit and Ursa and Luna, but I forgot how to play all of them but Ursa, so I had to pick 2 new ones. So I picked Outworld Devourer and Storm Spirit, so I've been messing around with them, and they're kind of fun to play as. I don't play online because I don't have any friends to play with on my team, and I don't want to let my team down. I'm one of those people.
Right.
And I don't want to get yelled at for 40 minutes about me.
You don't play with Lupica at all?
I haven't messaged him. I could text him and ask him if he wants to play.
He still plays, right? He's still on.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
He's on quite a bit.
Yeah, every time I've been playing, he's been playing. I just gotta ask him, but I want to get a little more practice with the heroes. So like, I don't know, I'm at least decent with them, so I can play a little bit and keep up. Because like the heroes that I'm playing as, 2 of them are intelligence, 1 are agility. Like if I don't get like the kills and denies, then I need to level up fast and get money, I will fall behind and pretty much fail and be embarrassed.
Yeah.
So it's tricky. The game's unforgiving. As I messaged you guys, I think it was last night, my thoughts of it. Basically, it's like making me really happy when I'm good and everything feels like it's all right, but when I'm not, I'm on the edge.
Yeah.
You had the exact relationship that I have with FIFA.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
I'm in the groove and we've won 3 straight, I'm like, boy, I couldn't be better at life right now.
Yeah.
But if I've lost 3 straight, I'm like, I might as well kill myself.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm going to get relegated.
Right.
I'm gonna get relegated.
What am I going to do then?
The relegation for Dota is being called a noob repeatedly. You're not laning, bro, or whatever. But I have a lot of fun with that game. It's a blast. I have close to 40 hours played on it now, but it's probably what I'm gonna be playing a lot of.
Well done.
Yeah. There was something else. I don't remember though. Must not have been important. So yeah, I'm done then, Dan.
Okay. Eric, what do you got for us?
Let's see, Dan. Let me fire up my notes here real quick. All right. Let's see. I played NBA 2K14. I played a little bit of Exhibition, which, I think it starts out with the Heat and the Spurs. And then I played mostly my career mode, where you make your own guy. NBA 2K14, my career mode was pretty fun. Right before I came over, I got drafted by the Portland Trail Blazers. I was excited about that because they have some exciting players on their team. I thought the Timberwolves were going to take me, and I was pissed about that. It's a good game. I don't think it feels like lethargic, the controls, almost. I don't know.
Sluggish.
Did you feel that, Will? Sluggish controls in NBA?
What game? Oh, NBA? For some players. I played as the Warriors.
Does it depend on the player?
Yeah, like, Klay Thompson's pretty slow, but Curry's pretty quick.
Okay.
Iguodala's pretty quick.
Alright.
So
Maybe it's because my guy's a 6'9" fat power forward.
Yep, that would be it.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're starting off, right? So your character isn't that good yet.
No.
So yeah, that's the issue then.
Okay. What my major complaint so far has been the conversations between my player and his agent. Oh my god.
You don't like Jackson Ellis?
It's mind numbing.
They try to, add those realistic touches in there, but
it's not even
annoying.
that. It's also the fact that they make my guy try to sound like gangster and street, and he's this big dopey white guy who has like my hairstyle and facial hair, and would not sound that way at all.
Right.
And I understand it's like a marketing thing, but I hate it.
The voice is right.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
I'm like, oh, stop it.
And they're talking to each other, and it's obnoxious.
Yeah.
But that's my main complaint so far. I hope to play that a little bit more, but it's a decent game. I could see why a lot of people like it.
Well, what I do like about it is the interview stuff. I always like doing the post-game and pre-game interviews and stuff like that because I don't know.
The only thing I've been interviewed so far was like my pre-draft personality questions.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah. Well, I just got drafted.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I played in like the rookie game. I did pretty well.
Did you?
Yeah.
What was your team score?
A. It was either A or A+.
That's really good then.
Yeah.
What number did you get drafted? I'm sorry, I zoned out. I was reading the chat.
I got drafted 10th
10th, okay.
to the Blazers.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Let's see, what else did I play? MLB The Show. First thing, right off the bat, the load times are obscene.
Yeah, they are.
Absolutely obscene. Like, I usually will look at my phone when a game is loading anyway. But I even was like, jeez, man, I'm done looking at my phone now. The game is still not loaded.
The loads are pretty ridiculous for that game.
Let me go make a lasagna while I'm waiting
No,
for this game to
honestly,
load.
like, you could throw something together. I was appalled at how long the load time
Like,
were.
loading from the title screen, it takes probably like 2-3 minutes.
It's bad.
Yeah.
That's not good. Especially if you're trying to get in and out of a baseball game.
Baseball
and
games
stuff.
are long enough as
Yeah.
it is.
Maybe that's why they didn't want to cut down on load times. They're like, oh well, you're going to be here playing this game for 4 hours.
Well,
so.
the big thing this game was to make it faster.
Yeah.
But the load times are the time that you're saving, like playing the game, makes up
sitting in
in
load
load
screen,
times. Yeah, it's
Staring
ridiculous.
at David Ortiz's big ass. Yeah, so the game itself, I just did an exhibition. The Yankees weren't done loading yet. It was installing. So I played as the Dodgers, and I played against the Pirates. I think I made it through 6 innings before I got bored. I shut it off.
So you liked it a lot.
No, I did like it. It's a good game, and it did speed up.
Yeah.
But I don't like baseball.
You should do Road to the Show because you basically play your at bats and when the balls hit to you.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to try Road to the Show. I found it to be pretty frustrating. I want to swing at every pitch.
Yeah.
And you can't. I got one hit through 6 innings, I think, and it was like a liner up the middle. Everything else was a strikeout, basically. I had a couple of little dribblers up the line, but it was really frustrating. And the pitching, I don't understand how they determine where the fuck the ball goes.
I noticed that when I played too. I was like, where am I throwing it?
I know what I'm supposed to do for the ball to go where I want it to go, and I do that, and the ball doesn't go where I want it to go.
Like, there'll be a time like where I thought I figured it out because I'll get a couple in that spot, and then out of nowhere it won't be anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
And it's like one of the first few innings where my pitcher's not tired yet, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Oh, it only gets worse too.
Yeah. So, I mean, for a baseball game, it is decent. Like, I'm not into baseball or baseball games, but definitely, I think if you're a baseball fan, you're probably going to like this game, obviously. I mean, it always sells well every year, so. I'm going to keep playing it, though. I want to play Road to the Show, like Will said. I think that's, like, the big draw of the game anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try that out. Let's see. I also bought Injustice: Gods Among Us. It was on sale for $8.50 through PlayStation Plus. They were having like a superhero sale, I think it was.
Yeah. Which I also
Was that
got.
in honor of Comic-Con?
Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah.
So I've had my eye on that game for a while now. It's fun. I've gotten through like 3 chapters in the story mode. Used Superman, Green Lantern, and who's the dude? Aquaman. Yeah.
Nice.
It's fun. The controls are really easy, which I like. It's pretty easy to do like cool moves with everybody, which is fun for me. It's a more accessible fighting game, I feel like, than other ones, which is nice. I think we talked about this fairly recently, or maybe I was listening to another podcast that talked about this recently. I feel like if you're getting into a fighting game, this is a good one to start with. Because it's got superheroes, which most people are into, and like I said, the controls are pretty accessible. But I like it for $8.50. I mean, I'll play it every now and again. I'll get my $8 worth out of it. And then I played Catherine on PlayStation Now. The game itself, it's weird, man. It's fucking weird.
It's
like
really weird.
This guy is dreaming and having nightmares about being killed, and then you go into his real life, and it's like about his relationship
Dating,
with
right?
his girlfriend, and like I just met another hotter girl, and I don't know what's gonna happen there. Probably never gonna find out. But the gameplay aspect of it in the nightmares is like climbing these block towers, and you have to move the blocks around to get to the top, and you collect things along the way, and there's sheep everywhere that are other people, and I think it's supposed to be some weird thing about how humans are sheep, and like, but I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
I don't want to get it.
I'm not really getting it when you're telling me right now.
Dude, it's fucking weird. You gotta play it.
Is it trying to take like a shot at humanity, kind of?
Something. It's about
The reason why... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I got nothing.
The reason why I selected Catherine, if it was me, that would be the game I would pick, just because I've heard so much about it, but have no experience with it, and it's so different from anything else.
That's for sure.
Yeah, so that's why that was my number one recommendation.
Papa and Yo probably would have been better for you.
Well, I mean, it got me. I'm interested enough in what's going on that I might like look up a YouTube video just to see people describe it, because first of all, I didn't play it long enough to give it a good description, but it was just so weird. Like, I feel like it's another one of those games that if you're on something, some sort of substance, and you're bending your mind a little bit, you'd probably be like, holy shit,
You're
man,
gonna have a
this
good
just
time.
Blew my mind what's going on right now. Like,
so
your
deep.
guy has horns in a nightmare, and he's one of the sheep that are like all going to be killed. It's fucking weird.
Deep.
The guy's like a mess, and he drinks a lot, and I think he's just really depressed, and like he pisses the bed in one of the first scenes. I'm like, oh man, it's just a weird game.
Glad we picked it for you.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, look it up on YouTube. It should be an interesting description from somebody who. There's probably some good like theories about what it means and stuff like that.
How much did you spend on that?
$5.
For 4 hours?
You probably only
Oh,
played
no.
25.
$3, and I got 45 minutes out of it.
Well, you're not going to go back?
Probably not.
All right.
I might. I don't know.
You should only to find out if your 4 hours was up from the time you bought the
Oh,
game.
yeah. I have to. I will definitely do that.
Okay.
That's important to know.
Yeah.
I'll be shocked if it was.
Kind of funny.
What a fucking ripoff that would be.
I wonder, the week, though, probably starts and stops on the actual time. Like, if you buy a week for a game,
Oh, yeah.
it's probably only actually 7 days from when you start playing, if I had to guess. Because
Yeah.
that's a lot of hours.
Yeah.
If you calculate an hour time. Okay.
I guess we'll see. But I think that's about it for my playing.
That's everything. All right. Anyone else have anything they want to chime in with?
Nothing for me, Dan.
All right. Well, let's get into feedback, shall we? All right. We got a voicemail first, so I will play that. Here we go.
Hey guys, this is Tito from LA. Very quickly, I bought The Last of Us for the PS4. I'm enjoying that game. It's just such a great game. I'm playing on the hardest difficulty, Grounded. I think the biggest difference is you can't see your health. and you can't use the listening mode.
Oof.
Oh,
So it was
man.
pretty difficult. So far, I haven't really gone into any of the big skirmishes. But one thing I noticed about that game is, for as much as it is a kind of a stealth game, I kind of realize now, looking back, that there are points where they really don't want you to finish this area in stealth because they want that excitement of shit hitting the fan, and it always was really intense when all of a sudden you try to get through this area really quietly, and then they hear you and everything's just becomes chaos, and the fights are actually kind of fun in those instances. But yeah, the graphics, I haven't noticed too much of an upgrade. Everything's sharper. The 60 frames per second is very noticeable and kind of jarring at first, but then you get used to it. But yeah, I was probably a bit let down with. I was hoping probably the graphics would be a bit more next gen, but I think that's more a testament to just how great it looked on the PS3, honestly. I tried the DLC Left Behind and played through that for Eric. I don't know if you've done it, but it's fantastic. I thought it was great. I really liked it. And they did some stuff in it that I think they did better than the game Gone Home was trying to do. At least for me, those things that didn't click in Gone Home, I was a bit more emotionally attached in Left Behind. I think that's pretty much it. I would say, Dan, just hopefully you're enjoying the game. Don't be afraid to explore as well. I was watching you on Twitch. There's a lot of stuff that's kind of fun to look around and see, the little details that they've added in the environment and everything. And last, I have a lot more stuff to mention, but I'm about ready to get to flight. But I will say I was accepted into the Evolve Alpha for the PC. But funny enough, I don't think I'll be able to play it over the weekend because I'll be in Florida, so I won't have access to my computer. I'll probably be able to play on my cousin's computer if I get the chance. But that's kind of a bummer because I was really looking forward to trying that out. That's all I got, and I'll see you guys around.
All right, thanks, Tito.
So jealous of you for that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, later on in The Last of Us, I did start doing a little more exploring once I kind of got the hang of the controls, and once I became more confident in my abilities with it, I did start exploring more, mostly for supplies. I don't like to miss any supplies to upgrade weapons or to craft stuff, which I did never mention, but that's another awesome thing about The Last of Us, the way they handle the crafting or sorting through your inventory and stuff. Because Joel, he just pulls off his backpack and the game's still going on. He can still be attacked, and
It's
that's
kind of
awesome.
like Zombie U.
Zombie U is supposed to be like that, yeah. Which I am gonna play that probably as soon as I'm back, home. I have your Zombie U.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's gonna be more my project for after I'm done with the summer work. So
Project game.
yeah. But yeah, I did start exploring a little bit more, specifically for supplies. But there's a lot of collectibles, and like in Tomb Raider, you'll collect a letter, and it'll have a little bit of backstory for kind of what happens, and that's also a very cool thing about The Last of Us. So I do like that.
I am looking forward to playing the DLC. He mentioned that in there. I'm really looking forward. I got good reviews when it came out. Do you know what the playtime is on it?
No, I looked it up when the game was coming out, and I don't remember.
Yeah.
Of course, because I don't remember much.
Right, I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah.
He mentioned Gone Home. Just a quick note, that's coming to PS4.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'll probably maybe play Will's through Family Share. I'll sit down for an hour and 15 minutes and play through that.
Through it.
Spent $20 on it. Just remember that.
Sorry, Will. That happens. So yeah, Last of Us, good stuff.
Yeah, bud. Did you get the email?
I
did.
I did, which is nice because I haven't been getting them for whatever reason.
Is weird, yeah.
Okay. The first one is on Twitter from Ryan Iowa, who says, this is in response to the nibble bit about fingerprinting at GameSpot. Police state anyone? Not a single human being should continue shopping at that location.
Yeah.
And we agree. I understand what they're trying to do. I just think that's taking it way too far. There's only so much you can do to prevent theft. And I also don't feel like it's on the retailer to prevent people from selling stolen stuff to them. It's not the retailer's responsibility to babysit the people that go in and patronize their stores.
Definitely, Dan.
It's the same. I don't know. This is a little off topic, but it's the same with a bartender being responsible for cutting someone off with booze. Why?
Yeah.
Why can't someone be responsible enough to know when to not stop drinking and to not drive home? I don't think that should be a bartender's responsibility.
No, it shouldn't.
Can anyone have responsibility for themselves anymore?
No, Dan.
And you know what? If they want to get so drunk that they fall asleep, then God damn it, they can.
Yeah, exactly. It should not be a bartender's responsibility
No.
to babysit the people drinking in a bar.
Just have somebody carry them outside and set them on the fucking sidewalk.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him a cab. You should be able to handle that yourself.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. So yeah, Facebook, also from Ryan, Iowa. Corey is most definitely the villain on the podcast, starting with the fact he refuses to give video games a rating. Corey, what's your response?
I'm here.
Did you hear that?
I told you guys I disagree with the fact that I'm the villain. We talked about it last episode. In my not giving ratings to games is not exclusive to me. I feel like you guys are kind of in that same boat. Yeah.
I give ratings to games.
I give ratings.
I do it
Since
because I have
when?
to.
I always say if I were to give it a score, this is what it would be.
I do that too. Not all the time,
Alright.
but
All right.
I do agree with
Then
you.
I
on
guess
both
I'm the
things,
villain.
so-
Sorry, guys.
I'm more prone to say you're the villain because whenever we all play a game together, it's about beating you
That's
as
true.
opposed to anyone else.
Oh, that was
Well,
why I
that
said
was
it.
Eric's point
Right.
the
Yeah.
other day.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
You should really be. It's a compliment more than anything.
Yeah,
I don't take it as one. I don't like being a villain,
you get
Why? It means you usually win.
but it makes me want to retreat from society.
Well, join the club. I've been wanting to do that for years.
Yeah, is that the
Some
only
people
thing?
just can't handle winning, Corey.
Can't handle the glory.
Yeah. You're just no Rudy.
True. All right, so Idaho Jake on Facebook says PlayStation Now is nuts. I can rent a game for at a store for $8 a week. I'm playing Borderlands 2 to get me through this Destiny drought. Now, on a good personal note, I'm going to Atlanta for a week or two in September for maintenance training, and once that is done, I will be a mechanic for the company I work for, and they want me to train to be an assistant factory manager, and a raise will come after I go to Atlanta. Pretty sweet for a guy with just a high school diploma. Is Eric going to the Hall of Fame game for the NFL Bills versus Giants? Well, that's it for me. And Borderlands 2 is a good game to play to occupy your time. A lot of hours there, especially if you. I don't know if you got the all the DLCs and stuff. There's a lot of them, and some of them are pretty lengthy, like Captain Scarlet and her Pirate's Booty. Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon's Keep is also pretty lengthy. That's a good game to occupy your time while you're waiting for Destiny, RPG, all that fun stuff. It's awesome. Career moves. Gotta love that.
No, that's good, man. Good
Yeah.
for you. I've always been a proponent that college is way overrated, aside from 2 or 3 professions.
Yeah, if you're going to be a doctor, you have to go to college.
Right, something like that. But no, that's good for you. I did want to go back to Tito's for a second.
Okay.
We forgot to talk about him playing on the highest difficulty.
Oh, that's right.
That would be such a bitch not having the ability to listen.
That's so important.
So important. Man, that's impressive. I know somebody else that did it on the highest difficulty, and he was like, God, it's such a bastard.
Yeah.
Kind of want to do it.
I would give up in a heartbeat, I'm pretty
Well,
sure.
at this point, since I've already played it, I won't care if I give up.
Right, because you know what to, you know the story.
Exactly.
Okay. Bills versus Giants Sunday night.
You know what? I gave a thought to go into this when they first announced it, but at the time, I don't think I had the money to get a ticket for it. And
Probably expensive, right?
ticket to go to the game itself was like $70-some bucks. Not too bad. But you got to drive out there, which would have been fun.
Is it in Ohio?
Yeah, it's at the Hall of Fame, and I've never been to the Hall of Fame, so that would have been cool.
Don't you just feel like you're getting fleeced, though?
A little bit.
No, I don't.
I can't. I have a real hard time spending money on sports stuff. I always feel like I'm getting fleeced.
Corey, some of the best times of my life were at Bills games.
Yeah, but you're buying into the whole culture there, right?
Yeah, and that culture, believe me, is traveling to the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess
Bills
I guess,
fans
like-
are at that, no doubt about it.
Oh, I don't I'm not disagreeing with you there. I'm just saying for me and like what I'm into, I don't buy into the whole culture thing. And for me to spend money on going to sports and stuff, it's just feel like I'm getting fleeced.
Well, I mean that's part of our personality because I'm the same way. Like I just watch, you know.
Yeah.
I don't. If I don't have to associate with other people, I try not to.
I always love going to Bills games. I always will. And here's my other argument for going was Andre Reed could be the last Bill to go in the Hall of Fame for however long.
Yeah, because the
J.P. Lossman.
How dare you, Corey or Will?
Whatever,
Corey.
What? I didn't say anything.
No, I meant Will. I said
whatever
Corey.
Your name is.
Anyway. Yeah,
you know
they haven't had any Hall of Fame worthy players, right?
No, and that was my thought too. Like I might never get to see another Bill in the Hall of Fame while I'm alive, honestly. Right. So it's like I kind of wanted to go, but that's the kind of thing that I would want to go to with other Bills fans, and I didn't feel like I could get anybody else to go with me who was a Bills fan at this point. I'm sure my girlfriend would have gone,
because the Hall of Fame thing might not be as important to them.
Yeah, my girlfriend, to her, it would have been more of a road trip with her boyfriend and not necessarily going because of the football aspect of it. You know what I mean? It would have been fun to take her, no doubt about it. But like, it was one of those things I wanted to bring football fans with me.
Yeah.
And I just don't think it would have materialized. So
yeah,
but that's great. Actually, one of my favorite stories about Andre Reed was when I had season tickets to the Bills. I was walking into the stadium with my bathrobe and my red and blue mohawk, and I had the Bills logo pin on the side of my head. And this woman stopped me, and she's like, "Hey, can I get a picture with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So she's standing there, and she's like, "Hey, don't tell anybody, but I'm Andre Reed's mom. I don't want a bunch of people coming over here." She's like, "But I have autographed cards, and I'll give you one." And I was like, "All right, awesome." And at first I was like, "Ah, bullshit, lady."
Right.
But it turns out he was being honored at the game that day, and I look over, and there he is giving this woman a hug, and I was like, "Shit." She was not fucking with me. Like, that actually is his mom, and she gave me a legit autographed Andre Reed card.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
See what I'm talking about, Corey? That's why I want to go to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but that would never happen to me.
Well,
No,
did you
that's
ever put yourself in that position?
No, because I'd rather stay home and eat pizza rolls and have cheap beer.
All right, fair enough.
On the couch, where it's warm. My issue with football,
Best
it's
views
cold.
in the house.
It's cold. I don't like
It's
cold.
So cold.
Oh, boy, I'm getting to be such a pussy about cold weather.
Yeah, it's tough.
But yeah, that's so no, I'm not going to it, but
We'll watch it on TV.
I might. We'll see.
Maybe. It is preseason.
Really depends what time it is.
I think it starts at 8.
I might then. Do you know what channel?
NBC?
Doesn't matter.
That's
I
just
have
a
the
guess.
ESPN app now. I forgot.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll-
It's on network TV.
I'll probably flip it on for while the starters are in for a few plays and
The first quarter.
then turn it off.
Yeah.
Once see EJ and Sammy out there slinging it.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah.
I think it's an episode, right?
Put a bow on it.
Yeah.
Let's call it, boys.
Yeah. Once again, you can find our
Boys.
podcast on iTunes or Stitcher. Go to our website, www.thumbstickathletes.com. All of our information's there, so you can click on a link to go to our iTunes thing, or search in iTunes for Thumbstick Athletes, or on Stitcher for Thumbstick Athletes. So that'll do it for episode 158 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
Merrick.
Well,
Corey.
Thanks for listening, and get out of my basement.
1, 2, 3, 4.